April, Dr. Al Taylor, the county's chief of schools, will serve as interim superintendent. ICE agents nationwide continue their crackdown on people in the country illegally, which includes arrests in metro Atlanta.
Our message is simple. If you are a criminal, illegal alien, you will be arrested and deported.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says among those arrested by ICE Atlanta this week is a citizen of South Korea who's been convicted of 9 counts for possession of or control of material depicting minors in sexually explicit conduct. It is now 3:03. The Von Hessler Doctrine begins in less than 2 minutes. Right now, live team coverage of traffic and weather. And in the 24-hour traffic center, it's Alex Williams.
A messy Friday afternoon commute, Bill, and right now we're having delays heading out to Stone Mountain. Crash Highway 78 eastbound at Memorial Drive, jammed up from Mountain Industrial Boulevard. Might want to think about using Hugh Howell Road as an alternate. Also, crash was in 2 right lanes, now mostly off to the right. I think they're about to hold a right lane with it again, though. 75 southbound at Windy Hill Road, exit 260 in Cobb. Delays there through Marietta. Once you get past that, stall in the right, or the center lane, I should say, northwest Atlanta. 75 southbound at Northside Drive. And we got a stalled big rig in the second right lane in Clayton County by the airport. 285 westbound, the inner loop at Riverdale Road, exit 60, causing delays leaving I-75. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Cloudy skies and warm today. High 68. Rain showers arrive through the afternoon, tapering off this evening. Lows tonight in the mid-40s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high 65. Sunday, sunshine, morning low 45. Afternoon, high 68.
57 in Roswell, 58 in Decula, 56 in Mableton. More news at 3:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
These people just make noise and basically waste our time.
Dear members of the media and the public, I welcome you.
Live from the heart of Atlanta, Georgia, and beyond, Hour 1 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. I am your lovable, huggable radio chat host, Eric Von Hessler. The other voices you hear are the Doctrinaires. Man of 1,000 voices, Tim Andrews. Lady of 184.7 characters, Autumn Fisher, has the afternoon off. The man behind the glass, George Clark, still living in Pink Eye Land. But Mark Aram, we do have with us right now.
Oh, that's Vinny Bag of Donuts.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, buddy.
Is it, Vinny, are you with us the whole ride, or is Blue? Or I'm a little confused. Well, Vinny, if it's you, we're glad to have you, my friend. We also have, and we're glad to have, the handsomest producer in all of producery, Jared Yamamoto.
Oh, you almost didn't get me there, Eric, man. I stayed up all night watching Fire 8. I'm exhausted, man.
Wow.
Oh, man.
You watch it over again?
I watched it over and over and over again. It's West Coast, so it started late here.
Yeah. How long was the Fire 8 concert? Because I want to hear your review of it. I haven't seen any of it. And because this is going to be kind of I think this might be an odd show. You know, the odd shows, the Von Hessler Doctrine, odd shows are either, just terrible or monumental. So you don't know which way this is going to go, but I can tell.
You better stay tuned in.
Yeah, you want to know, is this going to suck or is it going to be one of the better shows?
Will it be a train wreck?
Will it be the best show of the year so far, or is it just going to be a full-on stinker? I don't know. We'll find out together. That's the journey. But it's been one of those days. You know how I'm a creature of habit. You know this about me, Tim Andrews. I'm a creature of habit. I do everything pretty much the same every day until I get in front of this microphone. And this is one of those days where it's just all been just a little bit different.
Oh, you got knocked off.
Got knocked off early, and then this wasn't there, and then, the scope is supposed to be in the left, but it's on the right. You know, I'm talking about those kind of days where everything's just not quite where it's supposed to be.
Been there.
Your wife throws something away. Oh, I thought it was just a bag of nothing. Well, it turns out.
Should you get rid of your circus peanuts?
No, she would never do that.
Okay, good. That would be calls for divorce there.
The divorce papers would be on their way as we speak. But then I hit the roads. The roads are just, my way in is usually pretty easy. The GPS told me to do something else. And I said, you don't know what you're talking about, GPS. And then I was sitting in traffic I should have followed the GPS. But it's my whole thing of, I don't do that every day. I have to do the same thing every day.
You didn't like the routine being changed.
Yeah, the whole routine.
You know what you should have done?
The whole routine today is out of whack, is all I could say. Out of whack.
You know what you should have done is, along with checked with your GPS. You should have called Alex Williams. Alex Williams will give you the personalized traffic report.
You know what? You're right. But I feel like I shouldn't use my position to.
It's so honest of you.
I am an honest person. I feel like if everyone else out there, what is my audience? Quite often, people in cars on the road. I shouldn't jump in front of them. I shouldn't get a better shot than they do because I get to hear the news 3 minutes before everybody else does on the air. That's like insider traffic trading. I don't know that I could do it. But actually, I forgot that I could do that, and thanks for reminding me. Next time I will.
You text Alex.
I'll text Alex and say, Alex, what's the fastest way from where I am to where I want to go?
Get the Waze app.
That would be strange coming from Alex Williams. But so it's an odd day, but it starts out with me not knowing anything about fire aid because I have to tell you, as I said yesterday, I used to live in Los Angeles. I have friends in Los Angeles. I care very much about what's going on there. But I cannot stand these aid concerts. I just can't. It's got nothing to do with what I understand rock and roll to be. This thing, Live Aid was great. You know what was great about Live Aid? And, where the money went, follow that chain. Basically went to warlords. But the reason that it stood out so much is because these things didn't happen very often. There have been like a couple beforehand. George Harrison kind of got it started with concert for Bangladesh back in the early 70s.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Paul McCartney did something, Kampuchea, in the late 70s.
Oh, he did, yeah.
I don't know what was going on there, but Pete Townsend showed up all drunk and weird.
What did Lennon do? The New York City concert.
No, but he didn't do anything. But no, he was invited to be part of the concert for Bangladesh. But when George Harrison found out that he insisted that Yoko Ono was going to sing, Harrison passed.
I'd rather not.
So he was never a part of one of those. So, but I mean, for the most part, they didn't happen all that often. Live Aid was the first huge one. And now it just seems like everything that happens, we have one of these things. And they're usually not very entertaining. Now, are you going to tell me that Fire Aid was a wildly entertaining? I saw the very beginning, and I didn't even realize it was Green Day because the song was so slow, that first song. I saw the very beginning before I came to
where
work.
Billy Joe and
I didn't get to when the other Billy. I didn't realize
when
it was
Billie Eilish.
It was a couple of Bills got
Billy
together.
Squared.
Yeah, Billy Squared. And it's just like such a downer. I don't know. To me, rock and roll is middle finger. You know what I mean? It's like rock and roll shouldn't be all that helpful, I feel like. Maybe even as I hear myself say that, maybe that's probably not the correct thing, but it just seemed rock and roll to me is rebellious music.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been somber, right? Like it
right.
And started like Green Day was a little somber.
Yeah, when we start off, we're not going to start off like we're Jerry Lewis and this is his telethon. We're going to come in with some rock and roll. And then maybe in the middle, then show the devastation or whatever. But if you're going to have a rock and roll show, start with a rock and roll show. And if you want to, was it like a telethon, like raising money?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't
you watched the whole thing, didn't give a dime, I'm sure.
I watched a good amount of it. No, I didn't because what was really frustrating to me was, especially they started in the Kia Forum. They had the Intuit Dome and the Kia Forum, and they started in the Kia Forum. And what was frustrating was the crowd.
But they were jumping from place to place?
Yeah, so they had two when they would do like 3 acts in one building, do 3 acts in the other building.
So they could change stages without having to worry about it.
Right? Yeah, and so that part of it was cool, but the Kia Forum, I mean, the crowd was just bland, boring.
Who do you think was there?
I mean,
music industry knuckleheads.
Yeah, and I'm like, the only people that should have been there were the first responders that were helping out.
Also,
they didn't want to go to that.
They probably didn't want to go. I guarantee you, there was a lot more Pacific Palisades than Altadena in those crowds,
for sure.
And so that's the thing that comes off these things end up being. There's nothing worse for a musician to have to play in front of a music industry crowd, if that's what it was, because they're all above it. They've all seen acts better than you, and you can't impress them. And that's kind of how they live their lives. You can't impress me.
That's how it felt, especially.
I had dinner with Beyonce once,
Now,
15 years ago.
The other building, I have to give the Intuit Dome, I believe it's what it's called. That
Intuit.
One, that one at least.
She said they were into it.
Yeah, they're totally into
They
it.
were into it in the Intuit Dome. I give it to them. It was a lot better over there. But what was odd, Eric, was in the beginning is after Green Day finished, you had Billy Crystal come on, and he gave his testimonial. He's like, look, I'm wearing the clothes that I got out of my house and in the Palisades. And, it was like a sweat jumpsuit. But then he talked about how hard it was to lose his garden and how hard it was to lose all of these very ritzy things that a lot of people don't have. And so then Tina and I were watching it together because I told her that John Mayer was coming up. And she was like, oh, okay, I'll watch with you then. And I looked up how much Billy Crystal was worth, and he's worth $50 million.
Listen, but there's nothing.
So it just didn't hit.
There's not. Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be a lot more Pacific Palisades than Altadena. You want to get the working class are in Altadena, where that one got wiped out too. Pacific Palisades, like if you get a home there for like $650,000, you're probably working for somebody else in their home. Right.
Right.
I mean, and it's not one of those things where you shouldn't feel bad if tragedy hits anybody. I don't want Billy Crystal to lose his house. And I'm sure for Billy Crystal, who, by the way, has had a long, storied career and deserves anything that he has, I don't want anything bad to happen to him, but he can absorb it a lot better than a lot of people who I'm sure weren't represented from Altadena.
Yes.
So, I mean, yeah, it's going to fall on, it's hard to see an A-list celebrity as a victim at anything, whether they are or they're not, and perception is reality, and when you're putting on a show like this, you are dealing in perception, especially if you're trying to raise money.
A
lot of people are going to look at that and go, Billy Crystal can handle himself.
I found his pitch to be cringy, to ask for money. Now, they did go
I'm wearing the same clothes. I'm sure, but there's a high-end hotel between that night and you on this stage.
Well, he just got
a very high-end hotel.
He just got a big fat check for doing the When Harry Met Sally commercial.
That's right.
With Meg Ryan. Have you watched that one yet?
I have not, but I'll. It's funny. People don't watch Super Bowl commercials during the Super Bowl anymore.
Well, they're already out a
I
week
know,
ahead.
that's the whole point. I guess that's the idea, spending $8 million for 30 seconds, which, by the way, is almost always a bad idea.
Especially if you're like a young company or a new company.
When you're watching the Super Bowl now, next week from Sunday.
Yeah.
Write down, or just in your mind, think of how many of these commercials you're watching you've never heard of this company. And you'll never hear of them again.
Seriously.
Something about what they do and the market says they've got the extra cash right now. I would love to go through like the last 5 or 6 Super Bowl and see all of the, we can probably do this, all of the companies that bought commercials and find out how many of them are still around,
still in business.
relevant. It's ridiculous. If you are not McDonald's or Budweiser or Coca-Cola,
Doritos always buys a lot.
All of that, if you're not one of these brands that's ubiquitous, and somebody stands up at a meeting and says, I think that we should spend $8 million on a 30-second ad on the Super Bowl, fire that person immediately. That's about the worst thing you can do with your $8 million. First of all, half the country's in the bathroom. That's always been the case. That's why McDonald's and Budweiser and Doritos can absorb it. But if you're a startup tech company that nobody's ever heard of, you're spending $8 million on a 30-second commercial, you deserve your fate, and I know what your fate will be.
I'm asking honestly here, like, do people still use GoDaddy for anything? I mean, that one.
I just canceled my account after I forgot, and they charged me.
Do people even start their own websites anymore?
No.
Because, I mean, really, you just like have a Facebook page or
there's
something
no need
like
to make
that.
like a Wix or anything like that.
A lot of businesses don't even have them. They just use Facebook.
Yeah. How often are you even told to go to a website anymore? So, no, I don't think many people use GoDaddy. Like, we used to sit around, get drunk, and just try to think of names and buy them, thinking that, these will be valuable one day. What a waste of money. Somebody beat me to BruceSpringsteen.com.
What a jerk.
Well, that guy didn't get any money because Bruce took him to court and won.
That really happened.
That really happened.
Wow.
Which I don't think is right, because I think if this guy knew that Bruce Springsteen was going to need this before Bruce Springsteen did, then he should have been able. I think he did something smart.
Well, think about with ESPN. For the longest time, it was ESPN.go.com, and then they had to buy it from whoever had ESPN.
Yeah, I guess they didn't have Springsteen's lawyers.
Well,
Like people didn't know what, like the guy who bought that didn't know who ESPN was, the same way the guy who bought BruceSpringsteen.com. It was ridiculous.
I think ABC created that whole thing for themselves, the .go.
Oh, yeah, because they thought that was going to be the thing.
Yeah, and it didn't work.
Yeah. ABC.go. I thought .tv was going to take off for a while.
Yeah.
I feel bad because I think it was like Transylvania or someplace like that was making some money. What was it? Blue? Tuvalu.
It's a Pacific nation.
There you go. They probably made a bunch of money. Everybody thought,
it was like 30% of their national income last time I checked.
Still to this day?
I'd have to look it up again.
Okay, well, I'll look it up again because my feeling is that people aren't buying it the way they were like 10 years ago.
You ever go to Twitch.tv?
No, because I don't play video games, so I don't know why I'd watch somebody else play video games.
You can watch all kinds of things on
Unless
Twitch
she drops the top.
Basically, what they do is there's a lot of ASMR videos on Twitch where they push you to their OnlyFans page.
Exactly, yes. What do OnlyFans pages cost? I use my regular
Guys,
name.
I'm offering a special this month for 30 days, $3.99.
And then the whole thing's open to you? Or is it
and then if you forget to cancel at the end of the month, it's $29.99.
Okay, well, that's they didn't invent that.
That'll probably
Yes,
happen.
Blue?
I was exaggerating, but it's actually 9% of their full
Still to
government
this
revenues.
day? Still to this day?
To this day.
So come on, this is going to hurt an entire country that you've never heard of. If we stop buying websites through GoDaddy.
We'll make VonHesslerDoctrine.tv.
Think of all the money Danica made. And it's all gone. It's like all of these absurd. I had a friend who worked for a company that bought a Super Bowl ad, I think about 10 years ago. One of the ones that like the Seahawks were in or something. And I knew that what happens, especially with these smaller companies, because it's the Super Bowl ad, and because you're spending, back then, what was probably $3 million for 30 seconds, everybody's ideas get involved. Like the boss ain't going to let it go, whatever. And so you end up with 30 seconds that make no sense. And your money's gone and nobody remembers. I don't understand why anybody other than a blue chip name in America would get involved with that. It's just a bad idea. Again, I'll end where I started on that one. You've got a middling company, you're doing well, you've got a windfall, you've got a lot of money, you're a startup, people are projecting great things for the future. Somebody stands up and says, I think we should buy a Super Bowl ad. Before they sit down, give them their walking papers. Fire them.
But what if you have a big
they're
sign?
They're hurting you. They're stealing. They're burning the money that you have coming in.
What if you have a poster in your office that says, no idea is a bad idea?
Then you deserve it.
Why don't we just kill everyone? Well, that's a good idea, but we're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah, I've seen posters like that. Conference rooms.
Even in this building, we have those little motivational quotes when you go down the hallways.
They're the least motivational things I've ever seen in my life. Those things have been here since I've been here. I guess before I've been here. Or I've been here.
What about the painting of Sean Hannity? Didn't that motivate you to
That
get a painting
motivates
of yourself?
Me, of course. Well, I'll never get a painting. The days of host on WSB getting paintings.
Penley's too expensive
are
now.
behind us, I believe. But no, they aren't those just like the most boring, bland. I mean, one of them has the Beatles. I love the Beatles, and it doesn't inspire me at all.
One of them's like collaboration.
Yeah, and it'd be like a Formula One car. And they'll say blah 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 blah.
Teamwork.
Has there been, out of all the employees that have passed through here, I am very, very confident it would be in the thousands, right? Since those things have been on the
easily
that have passed through here.
I'm guarantee you some of them were probably hung on the walls when this building opened up.
So that was what, like 95 or something?
I think so, yeah.
So thousands of employees walk down those halls. I am nearly certain that not one single employee was ever inspired by any of them. Which is great that we got there because it's kind of the same thing as spending $8 million for a 30-second Super Bowl ad. Know this. No one is going to suddenly know about your company that didn't know before. But if Budweiser or Doritos does something funny or quirky, people will talk about it the next day. But they're not going to remember you because you paid Patrick Warburton, is that his name?
Yeah.
$1 million to be in your $8 million 30-second, that's how you always go, well, we can't afford Seinfeld. Get one of the cast members.
Yeah.
Next, get a calendar. It's 2025.
Well, now I think we should get
Isn't there always a Seinfeld character shows up every year on the Super Bowl ads?
It seems like it. I think this year.
So a guy suggests that. I think we should get a Seinfeld character. And then you say, well, have you seen what this is, Jim? This is a calendar of 2025.
Well, he does do the neighbor on the Family Guy, the police officer in the wheelchair.
Oh, that's right.
Is that still on?
Uh-huh.
Really?
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't watch TV anymore.
Hey, Peter.
Family Guy is still on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Still good?
I don't know. I haven't watched it.
It's not like how it was, but I mean, it was never at
That's what they say about the von Hessler doctrine. Not like it was.
I think what we should do, Eric, this is my idea. I think that we should, since we know what Billy Crystal wore on the day that the Palisades fire took his house, we should have him wearing that outfit, doing an ad for the von Hessler doctrine during the Super Bowl.
I think that's what we do. And
Okay.
we'll pay him $1 million. God, you know, Billy Crystal, do you know that he has had to decamp to some of the finest hotels in the world since this fire?
He has to stay at an Omni.
Are you
Isn't that
kidding?
terrible? Yeah, he wanted the Ritz, but he has to stay at the Omni.
I know. What a poor guy.
My goodness gracious. They really have their finger on the pulse.
Now, again, like they did have first responders come up and give their stories, which were better, but even then, they just felt, you could tell that they were not
But even that, this is
prepared.
why
They were reading a teleprompter.
this is why I don't like these kind of shows. If you're going to raise money for a worthy cause, just put on a rock show. Because a pop show, whatever, a pop music show. Put a pop music show on because it is impossible when you're in an arena to sit and be quiet and listen to people tell their very important stories. It's just not the place for it. So it ends up being just it just doesn't work. If you're what they should have done is said, all over America, over the next 3 months, there are going to be these certified shows, and you make like 6 or 7 of them, make sure they have like really headline acts, and then you have venues that get involved on a lower level. And it's just like, hey, for the next 3 months, if you go to a rock show, a pop show, a rap show, whatever, we're going to be raising money for this. And then the people can just walk in and see the acts that they want and know that doing that, there's something more happening.
I did make a note that it was very difficult to
Remember
go
when
from...
Hillary Clinton came out of the 9/11 show and got booed
No.
in New York City?
She did?
Yeah, they had a big show in New York City, and she was the senator, and it was 9/11. She got booed. It's like, she shouldn't be there. Does she have a new hit?
Did Adam Schiff come out?
No, this is back in...
No, on this one.
Oh.
No, I didn't see him last night. I stopped around the end of Earth, Wind, and Fire, and No Doubt. That's when I kind of tuned out. But
How were Earth, Wind, and Fire? Were they good?
They were good.
Good.
It was actually good, and John Mayer was good too. Actually, Tina was happy to see.
Shining
see him.
Star?
But
They do Shining Star?
they Earth, Wind, and Fire did.
Hell
but
yeah.
What was hard, the hardest transition though, was going from Dr. Dre to Joni Mitchell. That was hard.
Wow.
I mean that.
And doesn't she's like Phil Collins now. She sits
She
down.
had to sit down.
Yeah,
so
'cause
like
she's
you
had medical
went
trouble.
from Anderson .Paak and
Yeah, nobody
Dr. Dre
understands.
to Joni Mitchell.
Dr. Dre to Joni. Did they collab?
No, they didn't.
Sit here next to me, Dr. Dre.
Jewelrygram, it's your friends at Shane Company here to remind you that Valentine's Day is Friday, February 14th. It's the most romantic day of the year to give and get fine jewelry. We have expertly crafted gifts for every type of sweetheart. For the one, we'll help you propose with the dream engagement ring. Come see our wide selection of hand-picked natural and lab-grown diamonds in all shapes and sizes. In stock and ready to compare side by side right here in our store. Or maybe you'll fall in love with the natural, colorful gemstone. At Shane Company, we're known for our sapphires in every color of the rainbow. We have options for every style and budget. Get creative and design a custom necklace with meaningful charms, including 14-karat gold letters, engravable hearts, and birthstones. Our mother-of-pearl heart-shaped collection makes a perfect gift that's ready to give. At Shane Company, love is always in the air with our unmatched free lifetime warranty, everyday competitive prices, and no-pressure shopping experience. Come see us in-store and at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
We are here with the CFP Matthew Decker of the Vincent Financial Group and host of Retire ATL. And Matt, with the new calendar year upon us, I want to propose a what-if question to you and get your reaction. So, Matt, what if we finally go into a recession this year? Now what?
I want to say market volatility, probably not as bad a thing as you might think. Volatility actually creates opportunity. And so if your plan is to try to time the market, you're going to time when you get in and when you get out, trying to avoid some future recession, I'd say good luck. That's really difficult to do. A better strategy would just be to assume that a recession is coming and then make sure that you're comfortable riding out that storm and riding out that market downturn. If you're not actually comfortable with those feelings, if you're not comfortable riding it out, then I would say, okay, might be time to take some risk off the table.
Matt, we know you don't have that crystal ball, but it's always important to have a plan for the what-ifs in life. I got one more for you. What if I'm ready to make the call? How can I reach out to you and the team at the Vincent Financial Group?
I would love it if you called us today. Our number, 770-280-1488. Again, 770-280-1488. And what we're going to do is we're going to sit down and try to learn all about you. You might bring in a big folder with some statements. We may not even open those statements because that first meeting is all about who you are, where you're going, what's important to you, and how can we help keep you out of the two ditches on the side of the road, fear and greed, and get you to the retirement plan that you want for yourself.
That's 770-280-1488. That initial consultation, no cost, no obligation from the team at the Vincent Financial Group, 770-280-1488. And we invite you to join us for Retire ATL, Sundays at 6 p.m. right here on WSB.
By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance products, including annuities, offered through Matthew Decker, Georgia Insurance License Number 2880209. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties.
On Atlanta's Morning News, Monday, the latest new info on the D.C. plane crash will preview the coming week of Trump's first 100 days with CBS's Scott McFarland on Capitol Hill. I'm Chris Chandler. We'll start at 5 a.m. Monday on WSB.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 3:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by Vincent Financial. Our top story, it's an update on the mid-air collision in Washington, D.C. More than 40 bodies have now been recovered from the Potomac River after the collision involving a passenger jet and Army helicopter. Washington, D.C. and EMS Chief John Donnelly says searchers believe more bodies may be inside the broken-up fuselage.
I believe that when we remove the aircraft, that will help us resolve this number. If it doesn't, we will continue to search.
Reagan Airport is open, but 2 of 3 runways remain closed. We're hearing today from the father of Ryan O'Hara, the crew chief of the Army helicopter that collided with the American Airlines jetliner over D.C. Gary O'Hara reacts to President Trump blaming DEI policies for the disaster.
I can't imagine being the parents of that other pilot if she was a girl, saying that because she's a woman, she was less capable than the man. I can't imagine the horror that those parents must be going through.
Ryan O'Hara graduated from Parkview High School in Gwinnett County in 2014. Gwinnett County fires its superintendent of schools. Dr. Calvin Watt's contract was set to expire July of next year, but in a special called meeting today, the school board votes 3-2 to end his contract in April of this year. School safety had been a major issue at Georgia's largest school district for a while. Dr. Watts will be replaced by Dr. Al Taylor, the current chief of schools in Gwinnett. Golfers, baseball players, and more named the name Mizuno, and the Peachtree Corners-based company now confirms a hack that may have exposed personal information.
Mizuno USA says there was a data breach that lasted around 2 months, the attackers stealing files from its network between August and October. The company saying hackers got personal information belonging to an undisclosed number of individuals. It may include things like your name, social security number, financial account information, driver's license, even passport numbers. The company is offering 1 year of free credit monitoring and identity protection services to those impacted. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
It is 3:32 and time for live team coverage of traffic and weather in the 24-hour traffic center. It's Alex Williams.
A busy, rainy Friday afternoon out there. Travel advisory in Cobb. Crash back in two right lanes. 75 southbound, Windy Hill Road, exit 260. You're on the brake pedal. Back toward I-575. You can use Highway 41, Cobb Parkway. Inside the perimeter, they're holding a few right lanes, getting a stalled big rig off to the right in northwest Atlanta. 75 southbound, Northside Drive, exit 252. Actually, right now, all those lanes are starting to open back up. Had a stalled big rig, 285 westbound, the inner loop by the airport at Riverdale Road, exit 60. That's off to the right, so those brake lights leaving I-75 should start to improve. And traffic troopers tell me a crash mostly off to the side heading out toward Lawrenceville, 316 eastbound at Sugarloaf Parkway, but you're jammed in, leaving I-85. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Cloudy skies with a high of 68. Rain showers moving through the afternoon and evening hours, drying out before midnight, lows in the mid-40s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high 65. Sunday, mostly sunny, morning lows in the 40s, daytime high 68.
55 incoming, 54 in Ackworth, and 59 in Jonesboro. More news at 4 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
At Cigna Healthcare, we're designing better weight management treatment options. Making sure that those who need GLP-1s have access to them is the first step.
1 mile complete.
And we help them take the right steps after that, giving them the personalized support they need to keep going.
1 more mile complete.
When it comes to healthcare, a better experience means better outcomes for everyone. That's better by design. Learn more at Cigna.com/better.
It's happening, guys. Your hair's thinning, the crown's disappearing. Hair loss might have you feeling you've lost your identity. It's Mark Aram here. Thankfully, there's Advanced Hair Simple One-Day Treatment. You decide how much, how thick, and where. It's your own natural hair that begins regrowing the very next day, and it's guaranteed to grow for life. I've seen Advanced Hair's incredible results with my own eyes. Get your free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
When everyone in the family wants something different from this year's vacation, there's only one thing to do. Plan for Pigeon Forge. From gorgeous mountain views, shows, and shopping for leisure lovers to coasters, a 200-foot swing, and hundreds more rides for adventure seekers. Plus Dollywood's epic array of fun. There's plenty of variety for the whole family, all in one place. Unique experiences, quality time, and memories for years to come. Find your personal favorites. Plan your getaway at mypigeonforge.com.
Hey, Belinda here, and I have Barry Petrie, Director of Virtual Imaging. Barry has a very interesting testimonial I want him to share with our listeners. Barry, tell us your story.
Belinda, I'm 55. I'm in good shape. I work out every day and took this job about a year ago. Unfortunately, I started having some symptoms about 3 or 4 months ago, so I decided to scan myself. Learned that I had a very high calcium score, and especially most of that was in my LAD, which you know is the Widowmaker. Long story short, I had my first stent put in about 6 weeks ago at Northside, and I feel great. I did not realize that I had lost a gear, and I've got that gear back. And I would have been one of those people that probably would have dropped dead looking perfectly healthy at 60 if I had not taken this role and did that scan.
Oh, wow. Folks, that story hits home. What are you waiting for? Go to Virtual Imaging and get a complimentary heart scan with few minimum requirements for you and your spouse. Call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Or visit virtualimagingatl.com.
We're just jamming out there.
Sorry, I was swearing. Hopefully, all
Cursing up a storm.
I had a couple choice words for this English Nick, who is here right now. So let's do this.
It's English Nick with Toodle Pip.
Toodle Pip.
You know, English Nick, I woke up this morning with all these headlines.
You woke up?
I woke up, got out of bed, dragged a comb
across my head.
So all these headlines, I'll read one to you right here from Australia.
Straight.
Awful. And it said Steve Nicks. Awful.
AI wrote it then.
Stevie Nicks divides Fire Aid viewers with rough performance. And then I went and dialed in and, got a little bit of her, I think, singing Landslide.
Yeah, that was the best part of it.
Oh, okay.
In my opinion.
So I saw the part where she was not terrible.
The thing was, this was on so late, I was leaving the karaoke bar.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I'll put it up on my phone and just listen to what's going on. And it was Stevie Nicks. Stand Back was not a great rendition.
That's what I heard.
Landslide would just... I don't know how old that guitar player is, man. He's got to be 82.
Oh, no, but he's the guy.
But, dude, he killed it.
That's, I know him. I know his name.
Yeah, he's a session guy, right?
No, well, yeah, he's been around. He's also the guy that was behind that group, The Family, that the Partridge Family was made
the Cowsills.
He was very instrumental in the Cowsills, but he's a little more than a session musician on the West Coast of L.A. That guy, I mean, he's in the movie FM. He was part of Linda Ronstadt's band in the 70s. So I can't remember his name. Why can't I remember his name? Waddy Wachtel.
So people bashed Stevie Nicks.
Steve Nicks, yes. There's a lot of bashing, and I guess it was Stand Back. But here's my thing is,
vocals were weird on that.
Mixed vocals have got a little rough. Paul McCartney's have gotten way rough. Is this sexism?
Can we talk about Axl Rose's vocals? Absolutely diabolical.
Is this sexism? Is it that a woman, as she ages, her voice can't go?
Let me tell you something.
McCartney's packing out stadiums. Everybody knows he can't sing anymore.
I had this conversation.
Hey, Jude.
Well, you never can't sing as well as I used to.
His talking voice isn't too bad. I heard him talking about AI and what the government should do about it.
We have that. But I mean, it's both of them. Listen, let's not get off on that with my tie today.
I see that. I see him now. Staring out from behind your jacket zipper.
Ringo on Jimmy Kimmel and Paul McCartney on that AI interview.
Yeah.
So, man, these guys they're changing the 80s. I'll tell you what. One's 84, one's 82, and they got more energy than I
Paul's
do.
voice.
We're the people. You're the government. You're supposed to protect us.
Well, they're supposed to protect us. If you can't do what you do, then I'm on the AI will tell everything. And, there's a lot of Beatles songs out there.
No, but I did have the conversation to myself while she went from Stand Back, and then she did the speech about her house in the Palisades.
See,
that was built in 1930. But here's the thing. It was very heartfelt. Built in 1938. It's all wood. She goes, I was being evacuated, which is her least favorite word now. And she'll probably write a song with it in there. And she was
evacuation.
She was like, I was convinced that wooden house was going to burn to the ground, and they saved it. Maybe she didn't say if they were private firefighters.
Oh, yeah,
she gave it a
in other words, I can afford to save my home.
Yeah, it just doesn't resonate.
It doesn't resonate with people when celebrities that you know are multimillionaires tell you about their struggles, even though their struggles are real. They're people.
Yep.
They're in the moment.
Yep.
It is their home. It's where they raise their family. All the same things, but if you're trying to appeal to people, I wouldn't put multimillionaires up there to tell you about their struggles. It just doesn't resonate with the people.
Have a punk band whose apartment got burned down.
Yes, absolutely.
Give them new instruments.
Yeah,
and let
but
them
then
go out there.
will anybody donate any money? So what if they don't know who the people are? That's the thing, isn't it?
Do we have to hear from Billy Crystal?
I didn't hear that part. I was working.
It was at the very beginning. So that was, again, right after Green Day
He was wearing
performed.
the same clothes that he wore that night.
Oh, when he left his house?
Yeah, it was,
so he lost his place.
Do you know how many top-rated hotels he has been forced into?
Yeah, he's not Motel 6 in it, is he?
I don't think he is.
No, it was all burned down.
When he ran out of his house and he looked at the street, the first thing he said to his family is, "We're not staying here." And boom, gone.
Good. Nick, when he brought it up, he mentioned how he's like, "Oh, my garden was completely destroyed, and I had to pick up."
So the essentials is
the garden, and then what was the other thing in the garden? The fountain was ruined.
Oh, the fountain.
And I'm like, okay, all right.
I can relate to
here.
that.
Yeah.
I can relate to that. Me and Altadena.
Oh yeah, the fountain. Yeah. Meanwhile, the Altadena fire, which is completely working. I don't know about completely, because a lot of times there's a little overlap there. But if you've never been to the Pacific Palisades, I mean, it's gorgeous. My agent's office was there, and I happened to sign my first contract to come to Atlanta, the Pacific Palisades.
Oh, wow.
In that office. Wow. And I know exactly the day it was, although I don't know the date. I know the day.
And nothing was on fire the day you signed that contract.
No, it was beautiful. No. It was absolutely beautiful.
Right.
But it was the day of the final Seinfeld, whatever date that was.
Huh.
Whatever date that was.
Is that 98 or 99?
It'd be 98. So enough about me and enough about Billy Crystal. You're here to toodle some pips. So why don't you get to it, my
May
friend?
14th, 1998.
That's where I was. May 14th, 1998. Western. The time difference was there, but it was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I signed my first contract to come to
Did
Atlanta.
you and your old radio partner have the same agent at that point? Were you
did,
both
but
there signing together?
I don't believe we signed together. As I recall, it was the same agent, but I don't believe we were there at the same time. So the answer is yes and no.
How long after that did you take that picture on top of the building with Tim Dukes, the program director? I remember that picture.
Oh, that was years.
I was just looking at the
A couple
magazine
years
that's
later.
on the cover of it yesterday.
That's a couple years later, I believe. But
This guy, Tim Andrews, he has photographs that nobody has.
Well, he's a jock sniffer.
I'm an archivist.
He's a jock sniffer. He sent me a picture.
I have other friends like this who have pictures of themselves with every major to minor celebrity
I'm
who's
not in that
ever
picture.
existed.
You're on the roof on a cover of a
No,
magazine.
but you are an archivist to a certain degree. I
Sure.
get that. But you're also one of these people that just has. I'm sure you have a picture of yourself and Don Rickles or something.
Nope, never met
Damn
him.
it.
You never met Don?
No, I have Chris Root and Michael Hutchins together.
Oh.
Well, that's fantastic.
Was it compromising?
No, they're in the studio.
Okay.
I archived all of the old 96 Rock pictures.
I know. You sent me one the other day of the back of my head interviewing Kevin Kinney and Edward McCain at Music Midtime.
Yeah.
In like
Isn't
2000.
it great that somebody archives that?
I
And
know,
you
it's
say,
crazy.
Hey, you know what? The back of my head looked pretty good back then.
And then he sent me one where you could see the front of my face earlier in the week, too. Yeah.
How was that one?
Oh, it was all right. I was
Yeah.
just younger, you know.
Are you going to toodle a pip? Or
Yeah,
are
I'm
we
going to
just
toodle a
talk
pip
about
for
the old days.
Study Finds.
I told you people this is going to be an odd show.
Studyfinds.org.
Oh boy,
One of our favorite
This is
places.
going to be good.
Why being a bingo night regular could buy your brain an extra 5 years. So just having activity as an older person.
That's one. Now,
bingo brain.
I like to mash down the sticker thing on top of the paper.
On its own,
Makes
number
sense.
8.
I don't think I want those 5 years though. I got a lot.
That's a good question. That's a good question.
I don't think I want 91, 96. I don't know if I want those or not.
B12. B12.
Two little ducks, 22. That's how they do it in England. They when
Two
they
little
call
ducks.
two fat ladies, 88.
Can they still say that now?
I think they can.
All right.
I think the generations that are playing bingo
I
don't
think they
care
say
about
too
that.
beautiful at any size ladies.
Yes, two marvelous plus size ladies,
That's right.
88.
That's right. We used to call them snowmen, didn't we? You know, a couple of snowmen. 88.
Nice carrot.
I told you it's going to be an odd show. It's all right. We'll make it through. So it makes sense, though. But what?
The last time I went into a room and I actively saw people playing bingo, I remember playing with my grandmother, and there was a woman that won, and she had to carry her oxygen tank with her to go collect her
Yeah,
winnings.
she's getting her 5 years.
And I'm like,
here's the thing.
At that point, like,
Well,
I
how
should
old?
play-
Some people get up on oxygen when they're in their 50s.
She looked like she was probably
90?
late 70s.
Can I have my $10?
Well, late 70s now.
There she is.
Isn't that gambling?
That's weird to me being 60.
that's a
Like
good point.
David Lynch was 7. How old was David Lynch?
70. He was about to be 74, was he?
Like, we're getting into that idea now of thinking that, well, everybody's going to be in their 80s now when they die. Like,
Not if you smoke 20 or 30 a day like he did.
True. That's true. But
Not that that's the
I've done
same
radio
for
30
everybody.
years.
That's not the same for everybody. Some people smoke. Miss Mary, who lives in my neighborhood, the oldest lady there.
Miss Mary?
Miss Mary across the street.
Sure, Miss Mary across the street.
82, 83. She's always
Smokes
on her
up a
patio
chimney.
smoking. Gets her natty light or whatever it is from the local Cameron Park
That's what
market.
keeps her going.
You want to know why? Because it's DNA more than anything
Yeah.
else. More than anything else, it's DNA. And for some reason,
It's your genes.
some people's genes can handle it. Most can't, and that's why most shouldn't pick up the habit.
stretchy
The Von
genes.
Hessler doctrine says to kids, if you're looking at that vaping, whatever it is, machine, don't do it.
Vaping machine.
Popcorn lung.
Before
you know
Well,
it.
you refer
Is that
to
still
it as
around, the popcorn lung?
No.
Here's the problem.
It's
If you're
not.
trying to
No, that
scare
came from
people,
China.
if you're trying to scare people, don't put the word popcorn in there. It sounds like something you'd want to have.
Oh, it's salty,
Who
buttery,
doesn't-
delicious
Oh,
lung.
who doesn't want popcorn?
Yeah.
No, it came from
Always
China.
seems good.
Yeah, but if it pops too long, it burns. you know.
Everything came from China. Look at you, Mr. Jingoistic.
That's where it came from, the
popcorn.
bad juice.
She was sending us the popcorn lung.
He made it right there in wherever their
That's right. We did
palace
it.
is.
microwaved it right up.
Peking popcorn, that's what they called it.
So, yeah, this makes sense that I think also as you get older, doing crosswords, any kind of puzzles, things like that.
Well, activity.
So I'll
Yeah.
have none of that because I'm not good at puzzles, never was, even as a child and not good at puzzles now. Don't like doing them.
Bingo's pretty simple.
Well, yeah, the whole thing is that I got to sit around with other people.
gonna say.
Let me tell you, if I was in that situation, I would just be looking around going, this is my crowd now. Okay.
Maybe you could
This
take
is my crowd.
take a break from the bingo and you do a radio segment halfway through.
You were a
Like,
fun little rascal on the radio.
Maybe
Can
I'm
I
just
borrow your dauber?
Will you sign my bingo card?
I
Eric
see
Von
myself
Hessler?
more like an old drunk who's at the bar and says, "Who wants to buy a drink for an old radio star?"
When the news matters to you.
Several people feel sick after a gas leak inside a Residence Inn on Peachtree Street.
95.5 WSB has you covered.
We had a total of 5 patients that were transported.
Your 24/7 news source. When you need the story, all you need to do is listen.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
There she is, founder and CEO. High five.
Dave can't stop celebrating with every business owner in town.
All right, Baker Man. High five.
He's sharing the excitement of big savings with the Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee.
Woo, up top, bike shop. Yeah.
It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
Quick, high five.
5 years of advanced security.
5 years.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Yeah, law partners. Chamberlain, Messethorpe, Dubois.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Switch today and get the 5-year price lock guarantee.
5 years.
It's back, but only for a limited time.
Woo.
Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
Can't forget you, voiceover guy.
Ah, thanks, Dave.
High five.
Ends 3/9/25. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Start your year off stress-free and sell your home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. There's no obligation. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our offers are the strongest in the industry. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
As Georgia's homegrown leader in business insurance, Builders partners with thousands of local businesses to safeguard workers and help them return to their lives after injuries. Explore reliable workers' compensation solutions at BLDRS.com. Builders. Insurance built strong.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-2798.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
There's a hidden cost we pay in Georgia.
It shows up at the store when you call a ride, buy car insurance. Georgia's broken towards the stump is making everything more expensive, costing every Georgia household more than $5,000 a year, all while families are still struggling with inflation. Unfair laws in Georgia are driving up the cost of doing business, and you're paying for it. If you're tired of high costs, tell Georgia legislators to pass common sense tort reform now. Brought to you by Protecting American Consumers Together.
All right. Well, this English Nick, he never will give us more than 1 second longer than he's supposed to be here. So we better get to his.
Life's happening.
I know you have a very, very rushed, busy life.
And you've got a word of the day to get to, and
that is true.
Things.
We do have the word of the day by law. We have to get to. So go ahead and pip a toodle a pip.
This is from the Mirror. The Daily Mirror, which is a newspaper, but you can also get it at mirror.co.uk.
You're on the internet, huh?
They're on the internet.
They've
caught the job.
You don't have to take the paper any longer.
Running water, too, in England.
How about that?
This is in the Philippines. A pig has given birth to a mutant piglet with a human-like face that cries like a baby.
Oh, my goodness.
They're saying the mother was
I believe
exposed
this
to
is
drugs
true.
and pesticides and stuff.
Listen to this.
Why would that make you have a face of a human?
Well, the piglet's got a mutant.
No, I had nothing to do with it.
There's no snap. There's no
Looks
snap.
a lot like you.
I had nothing to do with it. She
I
thinks
didn't
it's
think
me.
about
Looks
that.
a lot like you.
Yeah, it is.
Freddie.
It is.
And you're the biggest drug dealer in town.
Yeah, that's true.
It is a creepy looking pig, and this is what it sounds like.
I hear chickens.
You can hear it a little bit in the beginning.
Okay, let me. Yeah, I hear there. That sounds like a. Okay.
That's chicken.
Let me tell you what would happen throughout 99.9% of history. Kill it!
I once, growing up on a sheep farm, saw.
And everybody listening to me is like, "Oh, Eric, you're so mean," and then they'll go eat bacon.
Why do
Shut up.
They have the face blurred in the new. They have the face
Because
of
it's
this.
so
it's
creepy
like
looking.
Well, it's like a human. No, I think they're just trying to protect it. Once you have like a human face, they protect children.
Yeah.
You got to.
Well, somebody could use that photograph to open it. Could I
show the damn pig? Well, we don't want to embarrass it.
Let's say the pig lives. Let's say the pig
British
lives.
labor laws.
Gets a smartphone.
Yeah.
They could use that photograph to open its phone.
Exactly.
You know,
Well, that's
steal
true.
it. Yes,
You got to be careful with
Jeez.
this. Yeah, absolutely.
Seriously, listen.
I just hear a chicken.
Yeah, but it also
talking.
sounds like. I mean, it sounds like
Eraserhead.
Kill it!
I once saw a lamb with two heads.
Eric, you're so mean.
That
Why
was
would
the
you want to
craziest
kill
thing.
that pig with a human face? Honey, can we get more bacon on? Yeah,
What if another pig with a human face comes along? They could be a couple.
They could.
You know?
We don't have to be alone.
My only question is. They say there's always somebody for everybody. Huh?
Remember that? What was the movie a few years back where the pig could talk? All the animals were talking. Babe.
There's a couple. They had Charlotte's Web too.
Well, that's a cartoon.
But they had a live action.
Oh,
of that
did
one.
they?
Yeah, I think
I
so.
say they remake Babe with this piglet because he will be able to talk.
The forehead on this piglet, if you've seen it,
I have not seen it. Show it to me. I have
Oh
not
my
seen it.
goodness!
Forehead,
Oh
look.
my goodness!
Oh my
at that.
God.
That is.
Oh my God. All right, you know what? Now that I've seen it, kill it
That's why they
for
blurred
its
it.
own good. Kill it.
Yeah, the craziest thing I ever saw when my dad was
Unless
sheep
it
farming.
makes better bacon. Well, no, then you kill it either way.
A lamb born with two heads that was actually alive, and that obviously they put it down.
Kill it!
Couldn't.
Why? They don't want to share food
Like
with the other head.
heads.
What are they going to do?
It's never going to live.
Two-headed sheep? Come on, there's a circus. There's a freak show. There's a job.
I could have
Get a
made money.
job?
Put it in the freak show.
Dad,
Maybe
I
bag
could,
groceries somewhere.
Right.
that was my future there. My dad killed my future. I could have taken that double-headed
That's
lamb.
right.
That two-headed lamb, I could have gone on the road with
Yeah.
that.
Seriously, you would have made a ton of money.
Wheeled it out.
Step right up and see the two-headed sheep.
Oh,
Paul Skittles would have loved it.
oh my goodness.
You will love it.
You.
Don't kill it.
Hey, don't be ramming it down.
All right. Well, listen.
you get
Hey,
that?
ladies and gentlemen, we're just we're just playing around here, being silly. Of course, we wish the best of luck to this
Mutant pig.
mutant crazy face pig, and we hope that we hope everything works out because we're caring people. And if you're mad at me, you better not have ever had bacon in your life.
This is a great picture.
It looks like
Don Rickles.
No, I know what it looks like. I'm not going to say it on this show.
Yes, it does from the side. Looks like Don Rickles. How you doing there, buddy?
Hey.
Where the sheep at?
All right, English Nick.
On that note,
English
have
Nick.
a great weekend.
You have yourself a great weekend as well.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
My whole identity had been wrapped up in being a soldier. To have that so violently ripped from me when I was wounded, I was lost for a very long time. When Wounded Warrior Project came into my life, being around the other warriors, people that had similar experiences that I did, it was a game changer for me. Having King join the group, that was the beginning of a really good friendship. It's a good time.
I first heard about Wounded Warrior Project through CQ. And at first I was kind of like, I don't know if I qualify. But having been a part of it, it's kind of taught me that it's not just the wounds that you can see, but it's those that you can't.
When you do something like a peer support group with Wounded Warrior Project and come together from different walks of life, man, the growth is incredible. If not for Wounded Warrior Project, I really don't think that I'd be here today.
See how we help warriors combat stigma at woundedwarriorproject.org/combat stigma.
New investigations break on Channel 2 Action News. We get problems solved, plain and simple. Every day we follow the facts.
Started digging, only to find...
Getting you the answers you need now.
We have live. Team 2 coverage.
Channel 2 never stops, advocating for you.
An investigation regarding your tax dollars.
We're more than just Atlanta's news.
A warning for consumers regarding...
We've got your back, all over North Georgia. See what's new, live, every day at 4, 5, and 6 on Channel 2 Action News.
On Wednesday, February 5th, Atlanta, Georgia is where the best wrestle as All Elite Wrestling presents Dynamite.
Are you ready for some dynamite tonight?
Be there live and witness the one-of-a-kind professional wrestling experience that only AEW can deliver. When AEW returns to Atlanta, all for as little as $20.
Let's get down to business.
AEW Dynamite, Wednesday, February 5th from Gateway Center Arena. Tickets on sale now starting at $20 at AEWTIX.com.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
Thank you, Jesus.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app.
Your next chance to win is coming up at 5.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
On 95.5 WSB.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
At 4 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by Hoffman Financial Group. Our top story, it's happening now. The NTSB giving an update on the Washington, D.C. mid-air disaster. Here's what's new this hour.
CBS News special report. Washington, D.C. Fire Chief John Donnelly says 41 bodies have been recovered from the Potomac after this week's deadly collision.
Side sonar scanning, searching the shoreline, and aerial operations. Our dive teams are working in targeted areas, and additional Coast Guard assets will arrive this afternoon.
He expects all 67 bodies will be recovered once the plane's fuselage is lifted out of the water. CBS's Charlie D'Agata has the latest on the crash investigation.
They're looking at altitude, and the president was clear about that. Someone was at the wrong altitude. Was the Black Hawk too high? Was it on course? Right now, we don't quite know.
There are reports the FAA has restricted helicopter routes near Reagan National Airport indefinitely. CBS's Jennifer Jacobs is at the White House, where Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt was asked about President Trump blaming the crash on DEI policies.
The president stands by his statement that they're trying to correct problems in the industry.
CBS News special report. I'm Michael Wallace.
And we are hearing today from family members of the 2 D.C. crash victims with ties to Georgia.
Ryan O'Hara was the crew chief on the military helicopter. He grew up in Gwinnett County. His father, Gary O'Hara, tells CBS his son's death is devastating.
I keep wondering if my wife and I and Taryn will ever feel like we're going to be whole again, because we're
just broken.
And Samuel Lilly, the co-pilot of the American Airlines jet, grew up near Savannah. His father, Timothy Lilly, is also a pilot.
As a pilot, you never stop flying. You don't give up on the airplane.
The two are among the 67 people killed in that crash. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
58 degrees in Atlanta. Rain making for a miserable commute in metro Atlanta this Friday afternoon. Will the sun return for Saturday? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. State lawmakers look to close a loophole that allows some disabled workers in Georgia to get paid the bare minimum.
Currently, there are 8 community organizations in Georgia that take advantage of a federal certificate allowing them to pay people with disabilities less than the minimum wage. The Dignity and Pay Act would require them to stop the practice and bring the pay up to the federal minimum within 2 years.
This is so important because all Georgians, regardless of disability, deserve dignity in the pay that they receive for the work that they do.
Charlotte Dinsmore with the Georgia Council on Developmental Disability says some of the pay is as low as 22 cents an hour. The bill has bipartisan support. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
The head of the state's largest school district is voted out.
The Gwinnett County School Board votes 3-2 to end the contract of Superintendent Dr. Calvin Watts in April, more than a year before it was set to expire. He'll be replaced by current Chief of Schools Al Taylor. Watts was hired back in 2021, becoming Gwinnett's first black superintendent. He has faced criticism during his tenure over a number of issues, including the district's discipline policy. One of the 2 board members voting against terminating Watts says the board should wait until the end of the school year to make such a decision. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Happening now, crews in DeKalb County working to fix the latest water main break in metro Atlanta. There's a 10-inch broken water main on Glendale Avenue in Decatur. ICE agents nationwide continue their crackdown on people in the country illegally, which includes arrests in metro Atlanta.
On January 28th, 2025, ICE Atlanta arrested a citizen of South Korea who has been convicted of 9 counts of possession or control of material depicting minors in sexually explicit conduct.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says their message is simple. If you're a criminal illegal alien, you will be arrested and deported. Black History Month kicks off this weekend with a special event honoring Rosa Parks, a replica of the historic bus Parks rode on back in 1955 when she refused to give up her seat will be parked at the C.T. Martin Recreation Center in Atlanta today. Atlanta City Council member Andrea Boone says you can board the bus and learn more about Rosa Parks.
That talks about her life and how folks thought that Rosa was tired, but she was not tired coming from work. Rosa said, "I am not tired. I'm just tired of this condition that we are in as a people."
Black History Month begins tomorrow. It is now 4:04, and the Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, it's live team coverage of traffic and weather, and triple team traffic begins now with Alex Williams.
Not fun out on the wet roadways this afternoon. Bill, long-standing crash in Marietta, still in the right lane, 75 southbound, Windy Hill exit 260, and it is a rough ride leaving 575. You might want to think about Highway 41, Cobb Parkway as an alternate. New crash in Sandy Springs was in 2 left lanes, now just a left lane block. 400 northbound at Abernathy are jammed up before Glen Ridge trying to get up toward I-285, and just found a new spin-out crash on the wet pavement, 285 and northbound, the outer loop in DeKalb County, Highway 78, exit 39, that's the Stone Mountain Freeway. Those delays stretch back to I-20. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Rain showers taper off this evening, still cloudy with lows dipping down to the mid-40s tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, the sunshine returns, high 65. Sunday, mostly sunny and warm. Morning low 45, afternoon high 68.
And right now, Storm Tracker radar shows rain, moderate rain showers moving across the heart of metro Atlanta. It is 56 degrees in Decatur, 54 in Beaufort, and 55 in Palmetto. More news at 4:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 2 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. So who was your favorite act on the Fire Aid, Jared Yamamoto, that you saw?
That's hard
to say. I know
to
your
say.
wife loves John Mayer.
She loves John Mayer, and he had a good performance.
Girls are women who do women and girls.
Yeah, he's just so he has that very breathy kind of low delivery. But what I found impressive about his performance was that
he's a very great guitarist.
Yes, instead of using a normal, instead of using an electric guitar, he was doing an electric guitar set with a normal acoustic guitar, which I thought that was really cool and impressive from him. But what was hard to see
Once you plug an acoustic guitar in, is it acoustic?
That's a good question.
Acoustic electric.
Okay. So he did acoustic electric.
He did acoustic electric, which he sounded great. I think overall he was probably my favorite, but it is hard to see an aging John Mayer because now, while watching him, I mean, he's getting fat. Like his neck is getting fat. Like you can see the roll in his neck now.
Oh, look at you being Mr. Judgmental.
I'm just saying.
He's there trying to help Billy Crystal put his life back together again, and you are judging his turkey waddle?
I was surprised. Dr. Dre was my favorite, though.
Where did he perform?
He did California Love.
Okay. With Joni Mitchell.
Well, then it was Joni Mitchell.
Yeah, then it was Joni Mitchell.
Whoever put that one together? All right, Dr. Dre, then Joni Mitchell.
You went from Anderson .Paak and Dr. Dre to Joni Mitchell, and it was like.
What did Joni Mitchell sing? Big Yellow Taxi? That wouldn't really apply because that's about
whatever it was.
Business people.
It almost
put
both of us to sleep.
Did she sound good? Like she could sing still?
No, she's kind of like in the Stevie Nicks range a little bit, where it's just very.
All right, no, that's not fair for her. She's been very, very sick.
Of course, yeah.
So she sits down.
And I understand.
Sings. She's a treasure. Damn it! You take what you can get. Thank you. If we can put up with Phil Collins sitting on an office chair.
She did Both Sides Now.
Okay, great song.
It was fine. It just you from an energy level. You
would rather have seen Anne Murray show up and sing that song. Is what you're saying? Is Anne Murray alive?
Anne Murray didn't do that.
She did a version.
Judy
of it.
Collins.
Oh, it's Judy Collins. You would rather have. Is Judy Collins still alive?
I'll have to Google.
Is Anne Murray still alive?
No, Anne Murray's dead.
Oh,
Judy Collins though still kicking at 85.
Good for her. Good. Go get it, Judy. Beautiful hair. So your favorite was John Mayer.
Oh, and Anne Murray.
No, my favorite was.
No, well, hey, why do you pronounce her dead?
I was confusing her with
You don't
someone
like
else.
Canadians.
I love Canadians.
That's what it is. You're like Trump. You want to put those tariffs
I would
on
love tariff.
Anne Murray.
Anne Murray, go back up there.
The next Anne Murray album is going to cost people $155. Anybody from Canada? I heard he's sending William Shatner back.
Oh no!
What's his thing about Canada?
I like Bill.
Oh, okay. Bill can stay.
Bill can stay. You know, I like him. He's the best. You know, like the other guys, Sulu. Not a big fan.
No, he doesn't like you either.
Well, I mean, even then.
Oh, you mean like when you were originally watching Star
Yeah,
Trek?
I was like,
you didn't like it.
I didn't like him. I mean, look, it was right after World War II, so they put a Soviet and then a Japanese guy in the ship. I mean,
the whole idea was
not
to
even
show
20 years
that
had gone by.
But the idea was the future, you see. So
well, it was
World
the
War
present
II would have
then.
been a long, long time ago.
And when you think about it, it was the past.
You know how stories work? Like they're different and they're not real life.
Well, it should have been, Americans. That's all I'm saying.
All Americans.
That's right.
We're changing the name of the Enterprise to the Starship America.
That's right. Retrofit it. Did you see that new Star Trek? My God, terrible.
Oh, boy, I heard it was awful.
Barron said he didn't like it.
I heard it just makes no sense.
They've had so many chances to reboot.
But it's the same
They don't
guy.
need to reboot it. It's dead. Let it go. Make
Yeah,
new
I agree.
stuff. Make new stuff.
Make new stuff.
You don't need the
it's-
brand.
It's space. You could just have all kinds. I mean, the best
There's so
space
many
show
adventures.
lately for me was why can't I think of the name of it from a few years ago? It was fantastic.
The
Came
Expanse?
from the books, The Expanse.
Yes.
That was fantastic. It was multicultural. It was, had all that kind of stuff, but it was great. And they didn't become multicultural by replacing people that you knew from the past. It was
Right.
just a brand new story with a brand new crew, and it was fantastic.
I like when stories in space.
Till that one guy got too handsy on set. They had to get rid of him.
I
But
like-
other than that,
They poochied him
they
from the Sips. How did he die? He's just dead. Goodbye.
Don't you like when stories in space teach you a little bit about the problems on Earth, though?
No.
In an abstract way. Yes, not the way that they did it in the first season or with the second season of Picard,
Oh, God.
where basically they were.
We have to stop Trump.
They were at the Mexican border.
Open the border.
No, I don't think that science fiction should be like that. I think it should be at a meta level where you say to yourself, like, if it's over, oh, that's kind of like,
That's
okay,
what they're
well,
referring to.
Or even if it's just like, maybe they don't even have to refer to it because it's called the human condition and everything. There's nothing new under the sun. And so you can use something else to make a point about what's happening now. The old original Star Trek used to do that. They had the guy who had his face was half black and half white
Yeah.
and the whole thing. I mean, that was
Frank Gorshin did
yeah, that was, but it was still entertainment first. First, we will entertain you.
Right.
And if you walk away maybe a little more enlightened on a thing that we'd like you to be, that's fantastic. But if you didn't, that's okay too, because really, 85% of the reason we're here is to entertain you.
And
it's the only way to get your point across, by the way, is if people are entertained. Nobody is going to learn a damn thing from the 5 years of Star Trek Discovery because nobody watched it.
And no one will ever go back and rewatch
one's
it.
ever going to go watch it. So all of the great points you're trying to make about society, no one's going to get them.
No discussion necessary.
Oh, yeah, that whole thing. Oh, that's right. She was
president of the world.
Stacey Abrams was the president of the universe, as I recall.
Planet or something. They did the Star Trek what Doctor Who did, what the BBC did to Doctor Who.
Yeah, it just made it unwatchable.
Right.
So is it just? It must be.
And by the way, Doctor Who was always kind of making points. My understanding now, I mean, I wouldn't have known it, is that it was very anti-Thatcher. And
yeah, but they weren't beating you over the head with it.
I had no
idea. They were
idea.
telling a story.
Right, I had no idea.
So if they continue to fail, how is it that they're able to make it or generate enough money to fund it? Because
I don't know.
It must be cheap.
The same guy is responsible for all these Star Trek shows, this Alex Kurtzman guy. And he just keeps getting more and more and more, and they give him more, and they're all awful.
Picard 3 was good.
Nobody likes them.
Because it was fan
Because
service.
it was a reaction to the first 2 seasons.
Here you go, you next generation
All right,
losers.
Yeah. God forbid people love a show and they want a little more of it. They at least want it to feel like it's in the same universe is a dumb thing to say. Everything's in the same universe. But in the same... you're within the same story, kind of.
Yeah.
You know, like you're telling kind of the same story.
And don't turn a character people have loved for decades into a jerk or a weirdo
That's
or a
all they
baby.
know how to do.
Like Luke Skywalker, they turn him into, I'm a Jedi.
Well, it's all the same. It's all the same. And the reason is because they have a whole new cast that they want to say, hey, these are your new heroes. Yeah. But nobody told us to make Luke Skywalker a hero. It was a surprise in 1977. Nobody saw it coming. It wasn't. So you can't just go, okay, we're going to call it Star Wars, and then we're going to do this little quick thing, and then no, here's a brand new crew. These are the ones you're in love with now. Yeah. And we're going to have a couple cameos in there, people that I'm sure as us 37-year-old writers believe, these people are from the past. They're old. They're passé. They're of a patriarchal structure that they came out. Things are better now. I think you know that. So, yeah, nostalgia. There's Harrison Ford. But here's the new crew that you're going to fall in love with. And then you walk down the toy aisle in December in Target, and every toy from the new Star Wars characters are all still on the shelves.
Wait,
December 18th.
I bought a Poe doll for
Did you?
For my little brother.
You were the only one. You were the only one.
Who's Poe?
Poe is one of the new
Poe
pilots.
Larkin.
He's one of the new pilots. But what they could have done, I saw a TikTok, Eric. I should have sent it to you guys. Where it actually
you wouldn't get to me. I don't know how you're going to send me a TikTok.
I could have sent it via text.
You can download it and then share it,
and send it that way.
They never
but
work when I'm trying to hit them.
They had such a good way they could have ended the series, even with how bad the new characters were introduced. Where
are you talking Star Wars?
Yeah, Star Wars. When they tried to
the second trilogy.
Yeah,
is that what you're talking about?
The Disney
third
trilogy.
trilogy.
The Disney trilogy. The third. It's the third. You're right. It's the third one. The Disney trilogy, where you put all this emphasis on Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker being the chosen one, and why not have, if the Emperor can come back, why not have the chosen one come back to beat him? That would have been the greatest way to finish it. Finish that series, if you even find the last trilogy to be necessary.
Well, it isn't.
It's not. But
it's
I'm
not
saying, like,
necessary at all. Why would anybody even go watch it?
Yeah,
Jared and I were laughing our asses
I never
off.
saw the third one. The second
that
one
one was bad.
That was the one. Was that the one? The third one? The one we were just laughing.
That's where you and I started bawling out laughing when Rey just was able to take a spaceship down with her hand.
Oh yeah,
she's like, oh yeah.
People were looking at us
with the Force. They've been doing this whole time.
The Force became this thing that sometimes you can do anything with it. It's magic. Well, then why don't they just use it all the time?
Yeah, they could stop spaceships.
Why are they
do that
having
before?
fight? Why are they fighting? Why are they ever? Why haven't they enslaved the entire universe with this power? Like,
let me heal a snake, and then I'll also bring this spaceship down. That was like within 5 minutes.
The second one, I didn't even get to the third one. The second one was so bad.
Well, that's everybody special in that one. That's what the message of that one.
Yeah. The message of that one is, we don't have to fight.
Yeah.
The word war is in the title. It's not Star Conflict Resolutions. It's Star Wars.
Star Negotiations.
Yes. with some of the biggest stars you'll ever see at the negotiating table. Alex Williams. And by the way, if a woman is running the spaceship, don't question her plans, no matter how stupid they appear to be. Alex Williams says there's a crash, unfortunately, on 75 on Cobb.
Yeah, and it's been there almost 2 hours, Eric. It's still in the right lane. I-75 southbound, Windy Hill Road, exit number 260, and the ride is absolutely cooked back to 575. I'd go ahead and jump over, use Highway 41, Cobb Parkway as an alternate. If you're taking 75 south closer into Midtown, just found a new crash in the HOV lane, 75 south, the ramp to I-85 northbound right there in the Brookwood area. Crash in Sandy Springs. This one's 400 northbound at Abernathy Road, exit 5. Left lane blocked there. You slow before the Glen Ridge connector. We also got a crash working in Clarkston, 285 northbound, the outer loop, Highway 78, exit 39, left lane blocked there. You're slow before Memorial Drive. And a crash where it's been raining pretty heavy down in Hateville, 75 south around Central Avenue, just pushed off to the right from a center lane. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
When traffic hits.
Raining pretty heavy. Crash still on the right lane, 85 northbound, Hamilton Mill.
The Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
Pausing for a long, slow ride to I-20. Your source for Atlanta's traffic.
Not often we can say this, but 285 is looking great.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Jewelry Gram, it's your friends at Shane Company, here to remind you that Valentine's Day is Friday, February 14th. It's the most romantic day of the year to give and get fine jewelry. We have expertly crafted gifts for every type of sweetheart. For the one, we'll help you propose with the dream engagement ring. Come see our wide selection of hand-picked natural and lab-grown diamonds in all shapes and sizes. In stock and ready to compare side by side right here in our store. Or maybe you'll fall in love with the natural, colorful gemstone. At Shane Company, we're known for our sapphires in every color of the rainbow. We have options for every style and budget. Get creative and design a custom necklace with meaningful charms, including 14-karat gold letters, engravable hearts, and birthstones. Our mother-of-pearl heart-shaped collection makes a perfect gift that's ready to give. At Shane Company, love is always in the air with our unmatched free lifetime warranty, everyday competitive prices, and no-pressure shopping experience. Come see us in-store and at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Your neighbors won't say what they're thinking, but I will. Your siding is hideous. Dave Baker here for the only siding company I recommend, Nelson Exteriors. Your ugly siding is faded, warped, cracked, rotting, and just falling apart. Nelson will properly install beautiful new siding with unmatched quality and craftsmanship so it lasts and lasts. They're licensed, insured, and a James Hardy Elite Preferred Contractor. Count on Nelson for an extraordinary renovation. Google Nelson Exteriors.
At Cigna Healthcare, it's not just about getting healthy, it's about staying healthy. That's why we're designing a better way to treat obesity, starting with ensuring that those who need GLP-1s have access to them. But everyone is different, so we support them in many different ways, like helping them see a nutritionist.
Keep it up. You're doing great.
When it comes to healthcare, a better experience means better outcomes for everyone. That's better by design. Learn more at Cigna.com/better.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
It's the time of year that Mama Bear and I work on our annual budget. Between you and me, I'm starting to think we're spending too much on salmon. Fortunately, with Scana Energy as our natural gas provider, we have options to save that fit our needs. Sign up and get up to $100 today. Call 877-GO-SCANA or visit scanaenergy.com/100 for details. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
You'll find low prices on thousands of items. The yellow and red tags mean you'll save big on sparkling ice water, Kroger brand chips, and so much more. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
We better do the word of the day, for heaven's sakes.
Word of the day.
Impasto. That's what I told you it would be. That is, we were talking about
It's an Italian dish, right?
Impasto. Yeah, it's a sort of a salad thing.
Impasto.
Impasto. We were talking yesterday about the that painting that they say now was a Van Gogh.
Yeah, the experts have confirmed that it is a Van Gogh.
I still have my questions about it, but
it's the sailor with the beard and the pipe.
In that story I read about that, this word came up because impasto is a noun, and it's the laying on of paint thickly. And if you've ever seen a real Van Gogh, he painted, it was very, very thick, very topographic map thing going on with his painting.
Your Trumpism there a little bit.
Very thick.
It's very thick.
I'm using my hands.
Make the accordion. That's how you do it. You
the accordion.
Open, close, open, close.
Anytime Tim Andrews says, I'm not finding the voice there, just do the thing with your hands, man. Doesn't it work? Like, just do the thing
Well,
with
it makes it somewhat. I mean, you do the where the pauses are. And there he is. Look him up there. Wow.
So that's the word of the day. And
Impasto.
that means that the host somehow has to use it in a sentence in some vaguely natural way before 7 p.m.
Now,
or else the Christmas asteroid strikes early. So you better hope I figure it out.
We didn't bring this up yesterday with the Christmas asteroid. Imagine if one of our, let's say we send up a missile to help knock it off course, right?
Right.
We didn't think about the...
I like the fact that you used the word help.
Well, that's the idea.
That's help, you help a little old lady across the street.
Exactly.
You don't help an asteroid to not hit you.
Imagine what if the missile veers off course?
You
and
smash that bastard so that it doesn't hit you, and you protect the people of Earth.
But what if the missile veers off course and actually puts it on a more likely trajectory?
Well, you would know you don't do that. See, it's not like the movies. They're not trying to blow the thing up.
Yeah, Steve Buscemi's not going to go land on
They
it.
tested this last year. We just, it wasn't something to argue about, so Americans didn't notice. But it was tested with an asteroid to see if we sent a missile, would we be able to move it far enough? And the test was good. It worked. So they'll know what they're doing.
Okay.
I hope.
Got a lot of trust. You got a lot of trust in this guy.
I may not be here in 7 years anyway, but if I'm here in 7 years, I don't want to go out that way.
Well, I'll be there still. I'll be in the
You're president of the United States?
They're going to put a bill through to let me run again.
An executive order, right?
Just how about a lifetime appointment, perhaps?
I would love that. I mean, there's a lot of fixing that needs to happen.
People are confused, Mr. Trump.
About?
So apparently, there's mixed messages. You're gonna hit Canada, Mexico, and China with these tariffs, which I believe are 25% tariffs on everything. 10% duty on China. So it's 25% for all of them, plus a 10% duty on China. But nobody knows if it starts tomorrow or March 1st. So is it tomorrow or March 1st?
Well, it could start tomorrow or March 1st, whichever comes first.
That's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of.
One of those days, either March 1st or tomorrow.
Or tomorrow.
Or
now,
maybe the middle of, next month.
If we go by the way that he does his stuff, I guess I'm assuming, I haven't had time to read the story, I'm assuming what it means is he's thinking they're scrambling in Canada and Mexico and getting on the phone, and they're going to try to get him to say March 1st. Can we talk about this? You got to understand, his whole thing is the deal.
You got to come here.
Right.
You got to come here. Close the border.
So I think, what?
The border.
So I think that's what, if I, without reading the story, admittedly I've not read the story, but if I'm picking up on his style, tomorrow or March 1st means you get phone calls that say, hey, we're willing to talk over the next few weeks if you want to put it to March 1st.
That's what it feels
like. And then you get the talks going. I don't know if I'm right. I'm not saying I'm right. But if I am right, remember this. I didn't even read the story. That's how damn smart I am. But if I'm wrong, Just don't hold it against him.
His press secretary, Caroline Levitt, just said, "These are the promises made and promises kept by the president."
Oh, she's belligerent. I love her. Huh? She's belligerent, huh?
She's hot, too.
Alex Williams says there's a crash on 75 in northwest Atlanta.
Yeah, and they just held all lanes with this crash, Eric. 75 south between Northside Drive and those ramps to I-85 northbound. Finally got it off to the right, but you're still slow coming down from Howell Mill, Northside Drive, trying to get into downtown Atlanta. Southbound delays start at the 85-400 merge on 85 southbound. And a crash right now, Hero with it, heading northbound, 75-85 northbound, up at I-20. That's in a center lane. Crash finally cleared in Cobb, 75 southbound at Windy Hill, but still slow through Marietta. Better news on Georgia 400 in Sandy Springs. Andrew Seco, Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center.
Better news indeed. Just watch trouble clear to the shoulder. 400 northbound, Abernathy Road, exit 5. Those brake lights still pretty tough rolling into Dunwoody, so you want to keep using Roswell Road as an alternate till that thins out. And new trouble in a left lane. Slowing you down on the outer loop through Clarkston, 285 northbound, right at Ponce de Leon Avenue. That is exit 40. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
It's happening, guys. Your hair's thinning, the crown's disappearing. Hair loss might have you feeling you've lost your identity. It's Mark Aram here. Thankfully, there's Advanced Hair Simple One-Day Treatment. You decide how much, how thick, and where. It's your own natural hair that begins regrowing the very next day, and it's guaranteed to grow for life. I've seen Advanced Hair's incredible results with my own eyes. Get your free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell.
And I'm Monica Pearson. Dale and I have worked together for years, first at WSB, and today helping you find Georgia's best companies and sharing why they're the best.
Monica, one of the first companies I researched and recommended is Amco Transmissions and Total Car Care. For more than a dozen years, they've consistently met my 7-point standard and honored my Make It Right guarantee. And I know you believe in Amco just as much as I do.
Dale, over the years, we've both reported about people getting taken advantage of. So I'm keenly aware what it takes to deliver not just great performance, but great customer service. People who follow my advice literally stop me on the street and thank me for referring them to Amco.
We all need mechanics we can trust for correct diagnosis, efficient repair, and fair price. Not just for transmission repair, but engines, brakes, check engine lights, and so much more. Call the locally owned Amco near you.
And I know their nationwide warranty protects you everywhere.
That's AA.
MCO.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-2798.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News.
Weather.
Traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 4:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio with our top story. It's an update on the mid-air disaster in Washington, D.C. The bodies of 41 victims have now been pulled from the Potomac River, and 28 are positively identified. D.C. Fire and EMS Chief John Donnelly says the rest may still be in the fuselage of the American Airlines plane.
I believe for us to recover the rest of the remains that we are going to need to get the fuselage out of the water.
He says weather is slowing down recovery efforts. And we're hearing today from the father of Ryan O'Hara, the crew chief of the Army helicopter that collided with the American Airlines plane over D.C.
To basically witness your son's death in the news,
It's devastating.
Gary O'Hara calls it his worst nightmare. His son graduated from Parkview High School in Gwinnett County in 2014. He leaves behind a wife and one-year-old son. It is now 57 degrees with rain in metro Atlanta. Will it clear out for the weekend? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. Dr. Calvin Watts is out as school superintendent in Gwinnett County. The school board today votes 3-2 to end his contract early. Watts says he respects the board's decision.
Proud of the work that we've been able to accomplish in 3.5 years that I've been here. Look forward to continuing the work until the work is done.
Watts is out effective in April. Dr. Al Taylor, the county's chief of schools, will serve as interim superintendent. A Cherokee County jury finds a man guilty of raping a teenager.
A Marietta man has been found guilty of rape, aggravated child molestation, aggravated sexual battery, and cruelty to children in the first degree.
The jury got the case about 7 p.m. last night. They decided to come back this morning around 8 and deliberated about 2 hours and returned a verdict on all 7 counts of guilty.
David Bailey is the assistant district attorney with the Blue Ridge Judicial Circuit Special Victims Unit. He says 34-year-old Alexis Trinidad will be sentenced at a later date. Daphne Young, 95.5 WSB.
A Lilburn man gets 2 consecutive life prison terms after he's found guilty of raping an acquaintance at gunpoint following a jealous encounter. A Gwinnett County jury convicts 52-year-old Santos Amaya Bonilla of 3 counts of rape, 5 counts of aggravated sodomy, and 2 counts of aggravated assault for incidents that occurred in March of 2020. It took the jury less than an hour to reach those guilty verdicts. President Trump's promised trade tariffs against Canada, Mexico, and China will be in full force.
At this point, the president has made it very clear those tariffs are going to be implemented and in effect. If the president at any time decides to roll back those tariffs, I'll leave it to him to make that decision. But starting tomorrow, those tariffs will be in place.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the president has promised 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico and 10% tariffs on China. And now, as we update your money, stocks do not like the news about the tariffs. The Dow takes a plunge late in the day, finishing down over 330 points. S&P loses 30, and the NASDAQ falls 54 points today. 2 soldiers are killed during a training exercise at Georgia's Fort Stewart. They died in a vehicle accident on the post near Savannah. The 2 soldiers were assigned to the 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team, 3rd Infantry Division. Their names are not yet released. The accident is under investigation. News about your health. A lot of flu going around these days. CBS's Alexander Tin reports new data from the Atlanta-based CDC shows flu infections are high in the South.
This season's second wave of influenza infections is accelerating for another week, with new CDC data showing rates of emergency room visits with the flu now higher than even last season's peak. Nationwide, the CDC says that around 7% of emergency room visits are sick with the flu. Rates are worst in the southeast, although flu trends are picking up in all regions of the country.
Groundhog Day is Sunday. Georgia's General Beauregard Lee makes his annual prediction from Dawson Trails in Flovilla, Georgia, near Jackson. Ike English, director at Dawson Trails, says they usually lure the groundhog out using hash browns.
Part of what helps him to come out of his house is the aroma of Waffle House hash browns. That's kind of a tradition.
This will be his 44th year to let us know if we will have an early spring or not. It is now 4:34, and it's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams begins triple team traffic.
Some better news with a few crashes downtown. Bill just had one in a center lane, 75-85 northbound right at I-20. They moved that off to the side. Still slow back to Langford Parkway. No relief till you get up into Midtown. Southbound delays start 85 southbound around North Druid Hills. Also a center lane crash south of the 400 merge, just cleared off to the side, but those brake lights continue down to I-20. And a crash 75 southbound below Northside Drive. That still sits on the right shoulder there, coming through northwest Atlanta. Been watching a crash on I-285 in Clarkston. Andrew Seco, Cool Day Carrier Traffic Center.
Now we have looking like a brake light battle leaving Panthersville. Left lane knocked out. 285 north the outer loop. Right when you get to Ponce de Leon Avenue, exit 40. Delays back in you almost to Flat Shoals Road. You may want to pack your patience, plan for some extra commute time. Second worst of it all seems to be leaving Dorville. 285 eastbound. That inner loop looking tough. You are slow from Peachtree Boulevard all the way down to the Stone Mountain Freeway. That's exit 39. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Rain showers taper off this evening. Still cloudy through tomorrow morning. Lows in the mid-40s. Sunshine returns for tomorrow afternoon, high 65. Sunday, mostly sunny, morning low 45, afternoon high 68.
Storm tracker radar shows rain moving across metro Atlanta at this hour. The heaviest rain to the east and south of Atlanta right now. It's 53 in Powder Springs, 56 in Stockbridge, 55 in Johns Creek. More news at 5 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
There she is, founder and CEO. High five.
Dave can't stop celebrating with every business owner in town.
All right, Baker Man. High five.
He's sharing the excitement of big savings with the Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee.
Ooh, up top, bike shop. Yeah.
It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
Quick, high five.
5 years of advanced security.
5 years.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Yeah, law partners. Chamberlain, Messethorpe, Dubois.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Switch today and get the 5-year price lock guarantee.
5 years.
It's back, but only for a limited time.
Woo!
Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
Can't forget you, voiceover guy.
Ah, thanks, Dave.
High five.
Ends 3/9/25. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
When it's time to replace your windows, make sure you have options and get to choose the energy-efficient window that is right for your home, your style, and your budget. Dave Baker here for the only window company I recommend, Nelson Exteriors. With Nelson, you're in charge. Choose from many top-rated window manufacturers like Andersen and MI, all backed by Nelson's worry-free lifetime labor warranty. For your replacement windows, pick the company that's more picky than you. Google Nelson Exteriors.
When everyone in the family wants something different from this year's vacation, there's only one thing to do. Plan for Pigeon Forge. From gorgeous mountain views, shows, and shopping for leisure lovers to coasters, a 200-foot swing, and hundreds more rides for adventure seekers. Plus Dollywood's epic array of fun. There's plenty of variety for the whole family, all in one place. Unique experiences, quality time, and memories for years to come. Find your personal favorites. Plan your getaway at mypigeonforge.com.
Dad, one more horsey ride, please.
This living room rodeo moment made possible by Emory Orthopedics and Spine Center. When Dad needed back surgery, he came to Emory. The difference? Emory's among the highest in patient satisfaction and best surgical outcome rates in the nation. And Emory uses the most advanced research developed by our top surgeons to get Dad's back surgery done right the first time. Giddy up. EmoryHealthcare.org/orthodifference.
Oh, great. Thanks, Trump. Now we all have to become experts on tariffs.
What are you talking about?
Well, I got to become experts on tariffs now because you're saying that the greatest way what the country was best when we were a tariff country? Or...
Well, the country was very rich when we were a tariff country. So you go back to, say, in the 1870s to about 1913 when they brought in the income tax. I recommend a book. It's called The Creature from Jekyll Island. That's when they got together. Jekyll Island, of course, near Georgia, right off the coast of Georgia.
It is in Georgia.
It's considered part of Georgia.
Well, it's off the state. I mean, in the water. But the
in the what? It's still Georgia.
In the what?
Well, it's out in the water.
The what? The water.
The water.
Okay, all right, yeah.
What do you want me to go? What do you go?
The
swimming?
water?
You want me to go swimming in the water?
No, it's okay.
So, we'll have to see what happens. They do these tests. They do these, these reports, and then they come out 3 years later, and nobody gives a damn.
Okay, now you're just mixing. You're just conflating things that you're saying.
So we'll see. I mean, like the income tax comes along, and that did okay for a little bit. But I mean, we were at our richest when we were a tariff country.
Yes, but it was a long time ago. I don't know. Maybe things have changed. Now
maybe they changed for the worse, and things will be better.
The reason I have to say that I have to find out about this because now it's the idea that part of it, because you can be tariffed as well, like they can tariff our goods, but it's the idea to get a lot of these companies to set up headquarters in America because if you're an American company,
to farm you.
And everything, just like if you would put your headquarters in the United States to sell to the American people, and then you wouldn't be subject to a tariff. Is that the idea?
That would be great if you are an American company and you're over in the EU and you're going to be creating things.
Are you saying things right now?
And Jared, you wrote a joke.
Well, you were saying. I mean, we we were just pontificating about whether or not you were going to do this tomorrow or on March 1st,
yeah,
but then you heard the show.
I heard the show, and it's either going to be tomorrow or March 1st.
I'm glad that you clarified. I appreciate that.
But yes, to your point,
he says it's not a negotiating tactic.
No,
as I
bring him
said.
here, bring him back, bring all the the company. Look, if you want to put them in Mexico for cheaper labor, go ahead. But as long as they're in here.
No, it's in Mexico. You're getting confused. You're going to put a 25% tariff on everything coming from Mexico as well.
Not if you bring. Look, if you are like.
Oh, you say if you're Mexican and you bring your company and headquarter it here,
right.
Then you could sell the American people without tariffs.
So if you're Apple or something and you don't want to pay an American, a fair rate to make your phones, because that would make them charge, whether it would be like $20,000.
Yeah.
Bring the factory to Mexico, Honduras, one of those places.
I don't think that's true.
Yes. I don't really.
He's had a long week, Eric. I mean, he's
know how sore my wrists are from signing.
Carpal tunnel.
I mean, he's been signing things all week, and one thing that I find refreshing is that he's been talking to the media almost every day.
Well,
so
yeah,
we're not used to that.
They like that.
At this point, you have talked to the media more than Biden did in 4 years.
Oh, easily.
I mean,
easily.
I mean, the guy's, he wasn't there. He was just, the whole time, was other people doing things, and the this and that in the cabinet, they were all doing.
I think you need a little sleep.
I sleep every day, 2 hours, 3 hours a day, 3 hours a day.
Kind of babbling a little bit.
Now, the Truth Social post. What is it with the capitalization's just bad? Let's just put it that way.
Well, I don't. Look, every word has meaning. When you type on the phone, and the automatic.
But you don't have to capitalize. You in sentences, it'll be a 7 or 8 word sentence.
Yeah.
And sometimes the fourth word will be capitalized.
Right.
Why is that?
Well, that's the one you want people to
emphasis.
focus on, right? That's the word.
Yeah, Eric knows. It's
But but you would capitalize the entire word, not just the first letter of the word.
Well,
Why
no,
do you
I'm
do
not
that?
shouting. I'm emphasis on the first word,
Right,
making
right.
it a. What do they call it? There's the kind of nouns that are proper, and then
And there's a proper noun. And
the
then
proper
there's
noun is the one with the
there's
capital, and then the others have the less. No capital.
I have a couch in my office if you'd like to lay down. And
That's nice of you, Eric.
I have a Resolute desk. It's very
just
small.
You seem very.
I have a Resolute couch. It's a chair.
I understand. I have a Resolute couch. You can.
Is it small? I mean, that's,
catch a little sleep.
Doesn't Resolute mean
It's smaller than Lincoln's bed.
Well, that bed was big. It's beautiful, but it's very long because he was very tall.
He was tall.
And did they they only read if he had lived? Would he have taken his bed with him, and then there'd be no Lincoln bedroom?
Yeah, I don't think there'll be a Lincoln bedroom.
Did he die in there? Or did he die at the?
I believe he died in there. Yeah, he was
house or whatever.
No. They took him across the street at first, and then I think he did end up in the White House. I'm not exactly.
They should have had better
First, they took
healthcare.
him across the street from the theater. I believe.
The problem with that was the Buchanan care.
Yeah.
If they had gotten rid of Buchanan care.
He would have lived.
Then he would have lived, and,
yes.
and he should have overturned.
I think you're a little delirious. I got to say,
very,
it's a
very
lot.
tired, very, very tired. So we were great. We had a lot of money during the Civil War.
We're talking about after the Civil War.
But then also after, we had plenty because
the
of
tariffs.
the tariffs and the taxing of the.
Right, now your eyes are
former
closed.
Confederate
You're just talking.
states.
Your eyes are closed.
You have people that do this job for you. You have a press secretary, and you
I
have
can't
J.D.
trust
Vance.
any of these people.
Why can't J.D. Vance? You don't trust him?
I trust J.D. Vance. I mean, he's a good guy. He's kind of chunky. He's a beard. I mean,
Oh, no.
if he becomes president, God forbid, if he becomes president, he'll have to shave the beard, and then he'd be like, "How did this 10-year-old become president?"
Well, he could become president just by following you.
He could be.
In 28.
Right.
Doesn't have to be a
32.
horrible thing.
Let's be honest. 32.
I read an article today. I guess the Daily Beast is at the left.
Yeah, they're left-leaning.
Just hysterical. I don't even mean the funny way. I mean hysteria. Just trying to convince people that he does have a plan to continue to be president after this term. And so basically, if they go through the easy ones, like you'd have to have an amendment. That's not going to happen. All of that. But then they came up with this to get their audience to be convinced is going to be the next big plan. So the idea is J.D. Vance runs. Trump gets nominated as the vice president. Then Vance wins and immediately resigns.
That's what Putin and the other guy did.
Yeah, right.
They just
that
went
kind of
back
thing.
and forth.
But I don't know. I have to read the amendment proper. Can you become vice president if you've served 2 terms? I don't know.
That's a good question.
The point being, it was just like I was reading this article thinking, isn't there something else you can write about rather than trying to figure? Oh, this is what he's doing. Definitely.
That's something you're worried about in 4 years.
keeping you on the edge of your seat the whole time.
That's what these websites are about.
That's
Isn't
true.
Isn't it just
No, it is. It's all about clicks,
both,
right?
Both sides.
Yeah, both sides. Every side. All 7 sides.
Well, I found
all 7 political sides in this country.
I found
it's all about clicks.
2 articles, Eric, for you earlier talking about Trump's approval ratings. One was Newsweek saying that Trump's approval ratings have never been so high.
And then there's another one that says that
Gallup,
historically low.
Gallup came out with a story saying they've never been this low.
Oh,
and
my goodness.
So here we go. Like, it's just.
And by the way, this early into a presidency, any presidency, who gives a damn what the polling looks like? It's historically low. You know what? We're going to redo the election. Is that what's going to happen? Yeah. Like, what are the consequences of historically low? Now, if you get close to re-election, the year leading up to re-election, if you have historically low numbers, well, that's news. But there should be something that you can do with news. So if you tell me, he has historically low rate numbers for his first week in office, well, are they going to redo the election? Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what his poll numbers are now. What matters, first of all, will be how are his poll numbers going into the midterm elections, and then how are his poll numbers, assuming J.D. Vance will run for president in 2028, how are that administration's poll numbers going into that? But what is the possible reason to even care what the poll ratings are for the first week of the presidency? Yeah. There's nothing you can...
Well, he's been losing sleep over. That's what it is. He didn't like that Gallup poll.
Well, it's fake polls.
So... Well, you got the other poll.
Well, the other poll was
Newsweek right, Gallup wrong.
Yeah, Gallup's usually wrong about things. I'm very sleepy.
You sound like you're a little tuckered out.
I need a Diet Coke.
Alex Williams says there's a crash on 285 in DeKalb.
And you bring the good luck, Eric, because they just cleared it. What is in the left lane? Spin out crash on the wet pavement, 285 northbound, the outer loop, Highway 78, the Stone Mountain Freeway exit 39. All lanes open, but delays continue back toward I-20. Heads up also in DeKalb County. Just found this on the jam cam. All lanes shut down on North Druid Hills Road at Lawrenceville Highway. Wires have come down in the road, so fire department, police on scene assessing that situation. If you're traveling 285 west or southbound on the outer loop, brake lights find you right at Peachtree Boulevard. You're going to stay slow over to Roswell Road. Jam up again heading southbound in Cobb County from I-75 down to I-20, the West Freeway. Checking the ride to the northern suburbs. Andrew Seco, Cool Day Carrier Traffic Center.
Seeing the volume, 85 north and south. Jamming you up a little bit from Norcross through Duluth up into Sewanee. 400 looking okay after earlier trouble. We are smooth sailing from Dunwoody up into Roswell through Alpharetta Milton. And 75 north and south looking the toughest right now. Jammed up here from Kennesaw through Marietta all the way down towards Smyrna Vinings. This is word sponsored by Rapid Radios. Their instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
Thank you, Jesus. The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app.
Your next chance to win is coming up at 5.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz
on 95.5 WSB.
Scott Slade here to talk to you about your health, and I think it's real important to talk about what is most likely to kill you. Heart disease is the #1 killer of Americans, and the older we get, the more prevalent it is. But you can reduce your risk. Eat right, don't smoke, exercise, and be informed about what's going on in your own body. Like lots of potentially serious health problems, if you catch heart disease early, you vastly increase your chances of living a longer life. And that's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual imaging scans take less than 10 minutes and screen with 98% accuracy for heart disease. Other scans, including brain and full body, are available too. Virtual Imaging is locally owned and operated in Atlanta for over 15 years, so they can make you this terrific offer. A complimentary heart scan for you and your spouse with a few minimum requirements. So don't put this off. I've done it. Call Virtual Imaging today for your free heart scan. 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-7226. Or visit their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
There's a hidden cost we pay in Georgia. It shows up at the store when you call a ride
By car insurance. Georgia's broken tort system is making everything more expensive, costing every Georgia household more than $5,000 a year, all while families are still struggling with inflation. Unfair laws in Georgia are driving up the cost of doing business, and you're paying for it. If you're tired of high costs, tell Georgia legislators to pass common sense tort reform now. Brought to you by Protecting American Consumers Together.
If you're turning 65, new to Medicare, or recently moved, Humana might just have the health plan you're looking for. Our Medicare Advantage plans offer coverage and care you can count on, along with guided support to help you feel your best. Plus, you can speak to a licensed sales agent at no cost to you, who can help you understand your options and choose the Medicare Advantage plan that best fits your needs. You could get a plan with a $0 premium, or an all-in-one plan that may include medical and prescription coverage, as well as routine dental, vision, and hearing. When it comes to the benefits and support you need, Humana Medicare Advantage plans are made for your well-being and your wallet. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
At Cigna Healthcare, we're designing a better way for you to get better care. And that starts with being there to support you around the clock. When you call or text, we'll always answer with 24/7 access to mental health clinicians, and we'll call you too. With a 100% follow-up rate to make sure you have everything you need. Whatever works best for you, works best for us. We're really just here to help you get better. That's better by design. Learn more at Cigna.com/better.
My whole identity had been wrapped up in being a soldier. To have that so violently ripped from me when I was wounded, I was lost for a very long time. When Wounded Warrior Project came into my life, being around the other warriors, people that had similar experiences that I did, it was a game changer for me. Having King join the group, that was the beginning of a really good friendship. It's a good time.
I first heard about Wounded Warrior Project through CQ. And at first I was kind of like, I don't know if I qualify. But having been a part of it, it's kind of taught me that it's not just the wounds that you can see, but it's those that you can't.
When you do something like a peer support group with Wounded Warrior Project and come together from different walks of life, man, the growth is incredible. If not for Wounded Warrior Project, I really don't think that I'd be here today.
See how we help warriors combat stigma at woundedwarriorproject.org/combat stigma.
Well, CNN is saying that the tariffs are going in place tomorrow.
All right. Or March 1st.
They're saying tomorrow.
One or the other.
25% on all goods from, I don't know about all goods. He says oil. No oil is involved.
No oil. Oil is important.
Well, because we get between Mexico and Canada, if I heard correctly earlier, over 50% of our oil.
We could get our own right there in the Gulf of America.
Yeah, that's right. Why aren't we just getting our own in the America of America?
And why not take over Alberta so we could get all that beautiful sand over
Now
there?
you're thinking. Let's just start taking countries over for no good reason.
No, just Alberta. And Saskatchewan.
What about Greenland? You want to take Greenland over?
Well, Greenland isn't Canada. I mean, I would love to have Greenland, the Dutch or whoever, the Danes, whatever, they don't like us. But Alberta and Saskatchewan, if we could get those two, wow, it'd be fantastic.
It would be.
Manitoba, throw that in. I like the name, Manitoba.
You want to just open Georgia stuff, and then we'll do like one or two, and then we'll come back after that.
Let's do Georgia stuff. I love it.
You've been trying to push Georgia stuff on me for days
I've
now.
got like 10 stories from the state of Georgia.
Oh, let's try to do them all.
Okay,
Let's do it now.
In 1 minute.
And after careful calculation, it's called Georgia Stuff.
Come on, let's go. We ain't got time here. Come on. We ain't got the time. Blah, 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 blah.
Are you a rapper now?
That's
your raps?
That's my raps. Everybody likes a 60-year-old white rapper. That's the next genre.
Eminem, he's in his 50s.
Yeah, it's not that old. He's got to be in his 40s.
No, he's in his 50s.
Is he in his 50s?
Maybe.
I like it. He's finally creeping people out.
Remember, he rapped against his AI self last year.
Yeah. Who won?
That's a good question. I think it's subjective.
Okay.
He's 52.
All right. Wow. He must have been a little older when he broke than I thought he was.
Yeah, he was. He was 30, 28.
Should have gotten a job. You think it by 28 if you haven't made it doing that. So you got to give it to him. He stuck with it.
I think before he was a rapper, he was a women's counselor.
Yes, that's what he did. That's where he got a lot of his material from. Are you going to give me my first headline, or what are you going to do over there, Jerry Yamamoto?
This involves Trump.
I've opened up your Georgia stuff.
Well, I figure this is important here because there's an Atlanta angle to all the Trump things that are going on.
What?
Mayor Dickens is calling on Trump to immediately restore funding and the freezing of federal aid that you did earlier this week there, Mr. Trump. What are you going to do?
Are you okay?
No,
yeah.
no.
What?
No.
Huh? What? No.
No.
What?
Fire Fonnie and you'll get your money.
No. Yeah, I don't think Trump is going to be particularly receptive to the city of Atlanta.
Mm-mm.
State of Georgia now.
Well, I love Brian Kemp. He's my
I
best
know.
friend.
He's your best friend. You guys are besties.
We're going to go bowling this weekend.
Go get a tattoo together, too.
Tattoo.
Well.
Alex Williams says there are brake lights on 75 in Henry County.
A rough afternoon on the south side, Eric. 75 northbound delays heading up through Locust Grove start before Bill Gardner Parkway exit 212, and the slow ride continues up through McDonough, almost up into Stockbridge. You break free just before Hudson Bridge Road. Southbound heavy through Hateville, where the heavy rain had fallen earlier. 75 south, trying to make your way into Forest Park. 85 north and southbound, seeing some delays around the airport. Just merging madness, though. Nothing big heading southbound toward Union City or Fairburn. How's the ride, Andrews? You go on I-20?
Seen some brake lights either side. If you're on the southeast side into Cab, I-20 east and west, you're slow from Panola Road all the way towards 285. Smooth sailing inside the perimeter. Got a little bit of stoppage merging north and south on the connector and inbound from Lithia Springs. Seen the brakes slowing you down 20 east from Thornton Road all the way down towards 285. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage in any age, system, make, or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
New investigations break on Channel 2 Action News. We get problems solved, plain and simple. Every day we follow the facts.
Started digging, only to find...
Getting you the answers you need now.
We have live. Team 2 coverage.
Channel 2 never stops advocating for you.
An investigation regarding your tax dollars.
We're more than just Atlanta's news.
A warning for consumers regarding...
We've got your back all over North Georgia. See what's new, live, every day at 4, 5, and 6 on Channel 2 Action News.
By now, you've heard all of our ads. America's largest injury law firm. But what does that really mean for our clients, for you? It means that when you hire us, you don't just get a lawyer, you get a legal army, almost 800 lawyers alone. That army includes an entire legal team, specialist lawyers, investigators, and a 24/7 client satisfaction staff. Just like if you were going into surgery, you wouldn't trust one person to handle the paperwork, the scheduling, the anesthesia, and the surgery. Have you ever seen a surgeon operating alone and without resources? No way. Why would you trust a small firm with your case? Your case is a big deal to us. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Are the effects of diabetes, prostate cancer, hypertension, or high cholesterol robbing you of your ability to perform in the bedroom? Choice Men's Health can help you eliminate ED and get your bedroom performance back in just one visit. Choice Men's Health offers breakthrough treatments for ED and performance issues in the bedroom to help you regain your confidence and give you back the intimacy with your partner. Call Choice Men's Health right now to make an appointment and find out how you can eliminate ED on the first visit. Popular name brand pills like Viagra and Cialis don't work for everyone and can have serious side effects. Choice Men's Health custom medications work immediately, even if you have a medical history or think you're too old to perform like you used to. Choice Men's Health can help you have a fulfilling sex life again. Call Choice Men's Health today at 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170. Once again, that's 404-400-1170.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Start your year off stress-free and sell your home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. Don't worry about the hassle of constant cleaning and making costly repairs. With a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can receive an all-cash offer and move when you're ready. There are no showings, no open houses, and no stress. With over 12,500 five-star reviews, you can trust Mark Spain Real Estate to sell your home stress-free and for the most money. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
News, weather,
Traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 5 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio with our top story. It's happening now. The search for more victims of the mid-air disaster in Washington, D.C. Reporter Stephen Portnoy has the latest on the recovery effort.
The grim update from D.C. Fire Chief John Donnelly is that 41 bodies have been pulled from the Potomac.
I believe for us to recover the rest of the remains that we are going to need to get the fuselage out of the water.
It's been a blustery, rainy day here. Donnelly says the bad weather may slow the recovery effort, but not by much.
We're going to be careful. We're going to make sure we don't hurt anybody else, but the weather we've seen so far is weather we can work in.
The hope is the salvage crews can start their work this weekend.
2 Georgia families are among those mourning the deaths of loved ones after the D.C. plane crash, and we're hearing today from their fathers.
Ryan O'Hara graduated from Parkview High School in Gwinnett County in 2014 and was the crew chief on the military helicopter. Ryan's father, Gary O'Hara, tells CBS he doesn't know if he'll ever feel whole again.
It's really like your worst nightmare as a parent of somebody in the military. Seeing 2 Army officers at my front door, it's heartbreaking.
And Timothy Lilly, the father of Samuel Lilly, the co-pilot of the American Airlines plane, says Samuel followed in his footsteps to become a pilot. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
56 degrees in Atlanta. Rain moves through metro Atlanta. When does it end? And how much of a warm-up this weekend? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. A big change for Gwinnett County schools after the school board fires its superintendent.
Dr. Calvin Watt's contract was set to expire in July of next year. But in a special called meeting of the school board, it was decided in a 3-2 vote to end his contract. School safety has been a major issue at Georgia's largest school district for a while. Dr. Watts is being replaced by Dr. Al Taylor, the current chief of schools in Gwinnett County. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Happening now, crews in DeKalb County working to fix the latest water main break in metro Atlanta. There's a 10-inch broken water main on Glendale Avenue in Decatur. Drivers asked to avoid that area until repairs are done. All lanes have reopened on Peachtree Road near Piedmont Hospital in Buckhead after a water main break yesterday in Atlanta. A move under the Gold Dome to help workers with disabilities.
Only 8 so-called community programs in Georgia still take advantage of the federal certificate that allows them to pay people with disabilities less than minimum wage. Charlotte Densmore with the Georgia Council on Developmental Disabilities explains.
What they're doing is they're putting people in what they call sheltered workshops. And these are segregated settings where only people with disabilities are working, and they get paid what's called a piece rate.
Some are paid as low as 22 cents an hour. The Dignity and Pay Act would require these programs to pay people the federal minimum wage within 2 years. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
ICE agents nationwide continue their crackdown on people in the country illegally, which includes arrests in metro Atlanta.
Our message is simple. If you are a criminal, illegal alien, you will be arrested and deported.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says among those arrested by ICE Atlanta this week is a citizen of South Korea who's been convicted of 9 counts for possession or control of material depicting minors in sexually explicit conduct. A man is pleading guilty for flying a drone that damaged firefighting aircraft during the fires in Los Angeles.
Contrary to law and basic common sense, some individuals were recklessly operating drones around the firefighting relief efforts.
Acting U.S. Attorney Joe McNally says the man lost sight of the drone before it collided with the aircraft. Dry January is coming to an end. Decatur package store owner Herb Churek says it's a trend that's extending to other months, too, as overall fewer adults seem to be boozing it up.
Does dry January affect us? Absolutely, yes. But kind of the bigger trend is the general decreased consumption of alcoholic beverages by adults.
He says many folks are now opting for non-alcoholic alcoholic drinks. It is now 5:04. The Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, triple team traffic. And here is Alex Williams.
Bill, refreshing the ride to the northern suburbs right now. 85 northbound, seeing the delays starting right at Chamblee Tucker Road. Breaks free a little bit once you get past Jimmy Carter Boulevard as you head up to Duluth, only to slow again from Sugarloaf Parkway up toward 985, 316 eastbound. You're seeing brake lights leaving I-85 into Lawrenceville, 75 in northbound. Not too bad this afternoon. Roughest part of that is between Kennesaw and Ackworth, but southbound has still been slow through Marietta, trying to get down to I-285. Hadn't been fun through downtown. Andrew Seco, Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center.
No, it has not. Looking a lot like a parking lot instead of a throughway here. We are seeing heavy delays, 75, 85 north and south. You are slow from East Point through the heart of downtown. Once you get past Midtown, the trouble starts just south of 485, feeling the pinch all the way back into Brookhaven. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official heating of winter. Here's meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Rain showers moving out for this evening. Still cloudy with lows in the mid-40s through tomorrow morning. But tomorrow afternoon, the sunshine returns, high 65, and warming up on Sunday with sunny skies. Morning low 45, afternoon high 68. Monday and Tuesday will be partly cloudy with morning lows in the low 50s, daytime highs in the mid-70s. Staying warm and dry through the middle of next week with Wednesday and Thursday highs in the mid-70s.
Storm tracker radar shows the back end of the rain now moving through metro Atlanta. The heaviest rain showers off to the east and south of Atlanta at this hour. 53 in Sandy Springs, 52 in Hiram, 54 in Fayetteville. More news at 5:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 3 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. And hour 3 means it's the 5 o'clock hour. So we have done this contest before. I don't know if we'll ever do it again. Maybe we will. But for this cycle, this ends up being, I believe, the last keyword of the contest.
This cycle, yeah. This is a lot of pressure. Do you think you can deliver this last keyword?
I'm going to do the best I can.
Okay. Maybe we make them wait a little.
It's been a strange day.
We can make them wait a little bit, too. They don't have to have it this second.
Oh,
are you tired, too?
I'm a little bit tired. I'm not as tired as you are.
I am very sleepy.
I know. You've had a whirlwind.
It's been 11 days to the President of the United States.
You know what it was? You stayed up late with me watching Fire Aid. That's what it was.
Yeah, that was great. Joni Mitchell, well, she knocked that out of the park.
It's the WSB 5K a day bonus splits, 5 o'clock hour keyword, and that keyword is money. M-O-N-E-Y. Money. Go to the WSB Radio app or WSBRadio.com/cash for your chance to win. Again, that keyword is money.
You win some money by typing in the keyword money.
Money. And then you got to pick up the phone when we call because we can't leave a message. We have to talk to you.
And usually it's Abby or Chris, so be nice to them when they call you.
Yeah, what the hell? It's last day of this cycle, of this contest. Be nice to them.
I don't got to be nice. Give me the money.
I didn't say you had to be nice.
I ain't going to be.
It was a suggestion that you
I'm
might
not
want to be. That's all that it was.
I don't ever want to be.
He's mad he didn't get fancy yesterday. That's what it is.
That's what it. Don't confuse people and say yesterday's word.
Today is money.
It's money. M-O-N-E-Y. You know who's money? George Stein. That's money. That's his.
It's time to go down by law with George Stein.
All right, George Stein. I thought you were going to be in here with us. What's the matter? The rain? You didn't like the traffic? What's going on?
A little bit of both. I didn't want to get wet, but no. Just a challenging day, that's all.
I've had a challenging day as well. Now, when you say challenging, do you mean like my day has just been, everything's just been a little bit off? Is it one of those challenging days, or was it one of those really challenging days?
Like
something
your clerk,
really, yeah, like
clerk didn't bring you coffee.
Yeah, something like that.
Well,
Is it? Should we be worried? Are you okay?
Well, I hit the pavement around 5 a.m. this morning, went to a court jurisdiction that was far away, and then I went to another court, and then I had several tasks to complete today, so it's been challenging in the legal sort of sense.
Okay, and then there's the rain, which, by the way, the traffic was murder for me. It really wasn't. When I say the traffic was murder, what I mean is that I was 15 minutes later than usual. I guess that's not. Maybe I'm hyping that up a little bit too much. But it was a little bit different. And so I've had an off day. So let's have an off day together. That's what I'm saying, George.
Okay.
We'll have an off day together.
You got it.
All right, George is here to get us to the legal underpinnings of many of the stories that are in the current events. And the first one, are you familiar with this plus-size rapper and the Lyft driver who told her that he was afraid she was going to bust his tires, so he couldn't?
Dank DeMoss.
Yeah, Dank DeMoss.
Yeah, yes.
Now
she's bringing a big lawsuit.
Yes, she is. See, he still got it. Hey, look, he may have had to go to a jurisdiction far, far away, but he still got it, ladies and gentlemen. So, where do you? My feeling on this, George, and as you know, I'm not a lawyer, but my feeling.
But you portray one on the radio.
From time to time, I will pretend to have law skills, and I believe that it's his car, and that I think that when you're almost 600 pounds, you might very well have an effect on a smaller vehicle. And by the way, I think it was nice to her. He said he'd call an XL, like a Uber, like a Lyft XL. Anyway, what's the law say on this?
Well, I think she's claiming discrimination, and it's not very well founded legally. You're right. Every car sort of has some load-bearing guidelines, and apparently she weighs enough kilos to violate those guidelines, apparently, or at least he was legitimately afraid of that. So,
have you seen her?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you can, let's call it the eyeball test. And listen, I think that people that are that size should be treated fine. I don't think people should mock them. I really do. That's fine. But when you're that size, everything is not going to apply to you the same way that it applies to everyone else. That's just the way that it is. I mean, you need extra large just about everything when you're that size.
Well, like you said, the guy was polite about it, and he tried to be professional, and he offered to get her another larger car. But, I think she's claiming some sort of discrimination and infliction of emotional distress and those sorts of things.
Yeah.
Which, listen, it's just not going to work. I think the lawsuit's going to get thrown out. And, fact be known, this might be sort of a publicity stunt on her part, partially.
Because she's a rapper that nobody's heard of until now. And
exactly.
I think Jared told me yesterday that there's been like 1 million. She's had like 1 million plays since this has happened.
Oh yeah,
right?
This song right here, "So What," George. I know you've been listening to this a lot.
Oh
right
yeah,
here. It's
really
cranked up over the past couple of days.
But that's not rap.
Yeah, you didn't get the rap part.
Get the rap part.
So this is the song that they picked. It doesn't really have a rap part.
Okay, so
not this one at least.
So she is a pop starlet in the making, is what she is. Because that sounds to me like that's like pop music to me. But
it sounds to me like the Dank DeMoss to you.
The Dank DeMoss. So we're in agreement on this. Even though I'm not a lawyer, we agree that this was a publicity stunt that worked.
Yeah, partially. I mean, if she had that many hits on it, too, you never know. She might be warming up for Taylor Swift in a few months.
You never know. You never know.
Well, again, like we talked earlier this week, George, how with Lizzo losing her weight, there is a vacuum now. There is a need for that kind of rap.
By the way, Lizzo did not lose weight. She released weight.
That's right. I apologize.
I don't know exactly what that means. I guess I'm assuming it means you're a nicer person if you say that. I have no idea. Things have gotten so ridiculous. But I love everybody, and I accept everybody as they are. But if you're that large, you may have to have... Listen, you ever been on a plane, George, where they walk up and down, they make sure that the weight is distributed properly on both sides of the plane?
Yes, I have. I've also been on a plane where a very robust, gelatinous, overweight person sat next to me, and their sort of fat rolls rolled over the armrest into my seat.
And you sued them for $1 million and won.
No, I didn't.
All
moved seats.
You're a pretty small dude. Hey, by the way, you won some. Where were you? You were in France or something?
I went to France. Yeah, I was.
And were you fighting people over there?
I was fighting people in a judo tournament. Yeah, and it's a really highly attended, highly acclaimed tournament. Did really well.
And you did well. Did you go out? You came back with some sort of medal, is my understanding.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got the gold medal.
Got the gold medal.
Oh, wow.
We got gold medal George here.
Yes,
Now,
thank you.
Judo George. Were you fighting? What's the class? Is it by age or is it by weight?
It's both.
Okay.
Yes, it's both.
So it's okay. So you beat up an old man, so that's all right.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Beat up a couple Frenchmen, Italian, and the guy from Amsterdam.
Well, there you go. You know what? Trump would love it. He's out there representing America.
Way to go, George. Good job.
That's right.
All right. So what else do we have in the legal
I'm going to
area?
at least toss this one up and let people think about it for a second.
Oh, yes.
25-year-old British woman who sent her boyfriend's ex a series of videos of her smirking as she passed gas ended up in court over the act.
Okay. So has this been? Where does this stand? I've not read this story. So is she going to court? Have they?
No, she's been to court.
Okay. And has the sentence? Is this harassment? Right? Would fall into
Basically, what it is. Yes.
Yeah. So she didn't.
It was in a British jurisdiction.
She didn't exactly. I mean, she didn't pass gas on the people. She just kept.
It was in the video.
She inundated this guy with videos of her passing gas and smirking at him. And was she mad at him about something? Was it?
Yeah, it was the breakup, and then she said,
Oh,
"I never."
nothing's gonna bring you back to a girl quicker than that.
She said, "Quote: I never thought farting would land me in court. I think the sentence is a bit excessive and dramatic." End quote.
And what was the sentence?
Well, she had to go to 15 therapy sessions and get an alcohol and drug rehabilitation,
colonoscopy,
and a restraining order to keep away and not harass. It's sort of the British equivalent to stalking.
Right, but also on the positive side, a lifetime supply of Beano.
Right. I love that the term "fart selfie" is what's used a lot in this article. I've never heard that term before.
So
until
was she
this article.
sending? So she was sending pictures, not full videos of
She
her
was sending
doing-
videos.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you wouldn't hear it otherwise.
Well, yeah. Well, you wouldn't know. Well, she could write.
But to Eric's point, though, like a selfie implies a picture. It is a
Sure.
video, though.
Okay, so
Well, they're behind over there.
how many did she send? Because I don't know how I feel about this. Like, how many did she send? At what point does it become harassment? If she sends 2, it's not really. But
No, there were numerous and endless for a while. So she was really angry.
Doesn't he have the ability to block her? Couldn't she just block her on the phone?
Shouldn't have to.
I mean, isn't that easy? You just block her. If
You
she
can block
wasn't-
the number, yeah.
Just block the number, I feel like. I'm on her side. I think she got drunk. She got some problems. And also, what I would say to her is, if you want a guy to come back, don't show off how great you are at passing gas. That's
Some
not
guys
you.
like
Well, there's always somebody who likes everything, or anything, I should say.
You know those people that have that gift that can burp on?
But by and large, right. If I was breaking up with a girl, she kept burping and sending videos, I wouldn't think to myself, oh, man, do I miss her. All right, Alex Williams says there's delays on 285 in DeKalb.
And they are also put into place by this stall that just moved off to the right. Hero held all lanes, 285 southbound, the inner loop, Highway 29, Lawrenceville Highway, exit 38. Stall now off to the right, but adds to those delays as you come out of Doraville, passing I-85 Spaghetti Junction, 285 westbound. Those brake lights find you around Chamblee Dunwoody Road. Take it over to Roswell Road, exit 25. Then you stack up again from I-75 in Cobb, trying to get down to I-20, the West Freeway. And on the south side, 285 eastbound, the outer loop, little sluggish through the airport tunnels, getting over to I-75. How is the ride to the southern suburbs? Andrew Seco, Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center.
Seeing the brake lights anywhere you're trying to go. 75 north and south, seeing heavy volume. You are slow from Stockbridge through McDonough all the way down towards Locust Grove. Maybe time to hop onto Highway 4223. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
If it's happening on the streets of Atlanta.
U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Georgia announces his resignation.
If it's happening on the roads leading to Atlanta.
Some brake lights out of Cobb County, I-20 eastbound.
We've got it covered.
The U.S. Surgeon General is warning about a link between alcohol and cancer.
Your 24/7 news source.
Covering the stories that impact you.
Tune in throughout the day to stay up to date.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. but we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in will work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
I fall in love with you more every single morning.
Babe, you're my favorite. My heart belongs to you.
At Shane Company, our fine jewelry says it all without saying a word. This Valentine's Day, give a gift they'll love. We have pieces you can personalize or classic gifts that are ready to go. Shop our collection of meaningful gifts, like necklaces engraved with flowers and a message of love. Or give timeless diamond studs or a stylish 14-karat gold chain. We have so many romantic gifts, no matter your budget. Just call us Cupid. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Start fresh this year. Take better care of your HVAC system and save money. Dave Baker here. Do you know starting at just $16.99 a month, a Coolray maintenance plan will keep your system running smoothly all year long? But if it's time for a new system, Coolray can install a new Carrier home comfort system that comes with a lifetime parts and labor warranty, which means $0 in repair costs for the life of your system. Simply schedule your appointment at Coolray.com. Coolray Carrier. Turn to the experts.
You wouldn't know it, but most financial advisors are put in a box. I'm Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I want to provide you a little insight about financial advisors. Most financial advisors have to sell what their company requires them to sell, and many advisors have to only adhere to what's called a suitability standard. A suitability standard is a limited standard of care, not requiring what's sold to be best, just suitable. Advisors with this loose standard often have limited investment and product selection. Trajan Wealth is held to a fiduciary standard, which is the highest standard of care in the advisory business. And that's just one of the many reasons we have billions of dollars under our care and attract clients from other advisors. Raise your standards today and call Trajan Wealth. 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000. Or visit us at TrajanWealth.com.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
All right. I'm going to remind you of the 5 o'clock keyword.
For the last time?
For the last time in this cycle. We're not saying this will never happen again, but this is the end of this contesting cycle. And the keyword is money, M-O-N-E-Y. Go to the WSB Radio app or WSBRadio.com/cash for your chance to win. Again, that keyword is money. Have we resolved the last legal case and moving on to the next one?
The farting selfie girl?
Yes, the farting selfie girl. Well, she's already been convicted and not convicted, whatever. She's got to basically do community service. Is that what it comes down to? She's not going to jail, right, George?
No, she's not, but she does have a restraining order and she's on probation. So
but she's not allowed to fart.
If she does it again, she could be in big trouble.
They won't let me have beans for 2 years.
So, yeah, she's allowed to pass gas. She's just not allowed to harass this guy with it.
Exactly. She can do it in the privacy of her home.
And doesn't she realize that the rest of the world suddenly thinks, well, that guy was smart to break up with her?
There's one guy going, wow, I can't believe he let her go.
Why would you? Well, now he can seek her out on Fart Finder.
It's a good app.
It's a good app. You know, people have certain fetishes they need to. All right. Well, we hope. It sounds to me, George, like she was pretty messed up on drugs and stuff. That was the underlying issue, given the sentence of rehab.
I think she was drinking too much, so that precipitated this
That'll happen.
unruly behavior.
That'll happen.
Those British birds.
British birds and their gas. All right.
That's why we need Autumn today, because she does the farting
she
girl and she can do the
she made
bird.
everything, but Autumn had the flu. She's got that flu boy, a lot of people have the flu, and I haven't gotten it yet, and it scares the hell out of me. Now I know I'm gonna get it eventually. You know who won't get it? Jared, because he never gets sick.
No, I have a good constitution.
Why are you knocking? That's not wood.
Look, this studio is made out of beautiful wood.
No, it's not real. It's balsa at best.
Come on, this studio was built, 90s true and true here. It still holds true.
Still holds true. Still looks like a studio from 1995. Yes, absolutely. And what's your next legal story?
NBC News here. Meta has agreed to pay $25 million to settle the Trump lawsuit over suspended accounts.
And now what did they do, George? They actually sent the money to his library that's going to happen or something. And one of those things but it was totally settled, so they can do whatever they want, right?
Yeah, basically it was over censorship issues, kind of First Amendment sort of stuff, and they didn't allow him to be on there when they took his account down, and it got rightfully settled.
Right, but I think that, and this is an illegal question, I think if Harris would have won, they wouldn't have settled. I think it's just a matter of they want to be on the right side of the administration.
That's why they were all at the inauguration, all happy. Oh, look at us, we're with him.
But do you think that he could have won in court if it went to court?
Well, it would depend on the protocols that they followed when they took it down. But it was an iffy lawsuit. But I think the intentions of filing it was to get the intended result that they got, and it worked.
All right, George. Well, it's up to you. You're on the phone. You can hang with us if you like, or we can say goodbye, and we'll talk to our gold medal champ next week. It's up to you, my friend.
I'm good to hang out, man.
All right. Well, hang. That's good. Hey, George is going to hang. Blue, George is going to hang.
Apparently, elephants aren't considered people. That's our next legal story.
Oh, don't change that channel. Alex Williams says there's trouble on 85 in Brookhaven.
And we're watching this new crash, 85 southbound, right at North Druid Hills, exit 89. It is taking out a center lane and partially in that right lane, but no first responders on scene yet, so that will just add to the delays once they arrive that are already stretching back toward a Claremont Road. If you're coming farther south into the city, you're going to jam up right at the 85-400 merge, making the commute down to I-20. Also, 75 south brake lights filling in from West Paces Ferry. Northbound, you're jammed in on the brake pedal from Highway 166 Langford Parkway up to 10th Street in Midtown. Got some trouble on I-20 in East Atlanta, Andrew Seco.
Trouble indeed. Looking a little extra tough right now. 20 eastbound approaching Boulevard. That's exit 59B. Holding all lanes just to move them to the shoulder. Those delays already make it a little tough. It's westbound rather, not eastbound. Already making it a little interesting heading to the heart of downtown. So you may want to use Memorial Drive as an alternate till things clear. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Shelley Winter for D. Geller & Son. When I was looking for an engagement ring, I could have gone anywhere, but I wanted to go to a place where I knew I could get better quality hand-picked diamonds and an unbeatable value. An incredible selection, custom designs, and they have on-site jewelers and an expert staff helped me because they're trained gemologists. They have 3 convenient locations, Atlanta, Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com. Go to dgeller.com right now and be like me. Get the best quality diamond you'll ever get for her in your life.
There she is, founder and CEO. High five.
Dave can't stop celebrating with every business owner in town.
All right, Baker Man, high five.
He's sharing the excitement of big savings with the Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee.
Ooh, up top, bike shop.
Yeah. It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
Quick, high five.
5 years of advanced security.
5 years.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Yeah, law partners. Chamberlain, Messethorpe, Dubois.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Switch today and get the 5-year price lock guarantee.
5 years.
It's back, but only for a limited time.
Woo.
Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
Can't forget you, voiceover guy.
Ah, thanks, Dave.
High five.
Ends 3/9/25. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-2798.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 5:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by D. Geller & Son Jewelers. Our top story, it's happening now. The NTSB scheduled to give an update on the mid-air collision in Washington, D.C. More than 40 bodies have now been recovered from the Potomac River after the collision involving a passenger jet and Army helicopter. Washington, D.C. and EMS Chief John Donnelly says searchers believe more bodies may be inside the broken-up fuselage of the plane.
I believe that when we remove the aircraft, that will help us resolve this number. If it doesn't, we will continue the search.
Reagan Airport is open, but 2 of 3 runways remain closed. And we're hearing today from the father of Ryan O'Hara, the crew chief of the Army helicopter that collided with the airplane over D.C. Gary O'Hara reacts to President Trump blaming DEI policies for the disaster.
I can't imagine being the parents of that other pilot if she was a girl, saying that because she's a woman, she was less capable than the man. I can't imagine the horror that those parents must be going through.
Ryan O'Hara graduated from Parkview High School in Gwinnett County in 2014. The crew of the Black Hawk that collided with the passenger jet was a seasoned team. CBS's Charlie D'Agata at the Pentagon says they were reportedly on a refresher flight low along the Potomac River.
If you've been to the D.C. area, you see Black Hawk helicopters up and down the Potomac anytime, day or night, nearly constantly. So this is not anything unique.
President Trump says the helicopter was flying too high by a lot. It is now 56 degrees in Atlanta after this rain pushes through. Will it dry out for the weekend? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. Dr. Calvin Watts is out as school superintendent in Gwinnett County. The school board votes today 3-2 to end his contract early.
I respect the board's decision and here to serve for as long as I have, and proud of the work that we've been able to accomplish in the 3.5 years that I've been here.
Watts was hired as superintendent in 2021. He's out effective in April. Dr. Al Taylor, the county's chief of schools, will serve as interim superintendent. A guilty verdict in the trial of a Marietta man accused of raping a teenager.
It didn't take long for a Cherokee County jury to find 34-year-old Alexis Trinidad guilty on 7 counts for raping a 14-year-old girl.
It was 4 days. We picked a jury on Monday. The evidence was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then today was just jury deliberation and the verdict.
David Bailey is assistant district attorney with the Blue Ridge Judicial Circuit Special Victims Unit. He says thanks to the testimony of the teenager and another victim who was sexually assaulted in a different jurisdiction, the trial wrapped up quickly. Daphne Young, 95.5 WSB.
Now WSB Money Update. Stocks take a late-day nosedive. Money reporter Jason Brooks says it's reaction to President Trump's tariffs.
The Trump administration says it's going through with 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico and a 10% tariff on Chinese imports starting this Saturday, nixing a promising stock rally.
The Dow plunges over 330 points today. S&P loses 30 and the Nasdaq falls 54 points. A 5-year-old boy is killed today when the hyperbaric chamber he's in explodes at a medical facility in Troy, Michigan.
The mother of the child also suffered some injuries to her arms as she was standing right next to the chamber when the explosion occurred.
Police Lieutenant Ben Hancock says they're still investigating how this tragedy happened. Hackers target a popular maker of sporting goods and merchandise. WSB's Sabrina Cupid reports the company is based in Peachtree Corners.
Mizuno USA was the victim of a hack attack, and the hackers were reportedly in the company's network for 2 months.
They had access to information on an undisclosed number of people and their personal information, things like social security numbers, addresses, and financial information. The information was stolen from the network between August and October of last year. The company now offering 1 year free credit monitoring and identity protection services to those impacted by the breach.
It is now 5:34 and time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams has triple team traffic.
And watching all lanes held right now in Brookhaven, Bill, by Hero and police. Widely scattered crash. Got one more car to get out of the center lane here. 85 southbound, North Druid Hills Road, exit 89. I bet once they get it off to the right, though, they're going to stay in that right lane. So that's going to add to the delays as you make your way into northeast Atlanta. You can always use Beaufort Highway as an alternate. We've had trouble, 285 northbound, the inner loop right around Camp Creek Parkway, exit 2. That's been in the right lane, slow in the ride, leaving I-85 coming up from the airport. Do we have some better news on I-20 in East Atlanta? Andrew Seco, Cool Rate Carrier Traffic Center.
We do indeed. Trouble moved to the shoulder, 20 westbound at Boulevard, exit 59B, but those brake lights still looking a little tough. Might have something jamming up on the eastbound side as well, so plan for some extra commute time. Keep a foot close to the brake pedal till we are cleared up. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Rain showers moving out for this evening. Still cloudy with lows in the mid-40s through tomorrow morning. But tomorrow afternoon, the sunshine returns, high 65, and warming up on Sunday with sunny skies. Morning low 45, afternoon high 68. Monday and Tuesday will be partly cloudy with morning lows in the low 50s, daytime highs in the mid-70s. Staying warm and dry through the middle of next week with Wednesday and Thursday highs in the mid-70s.
And Storm Tracker radar shows the rain now pushing off to the east of Atlanta, 54 in Snellville, 55 in Hampton, 52 in Flowery Branch. More news at 6 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
For Valentine's Day, Tara Fine Jewelry Company's immaculate, beautiful showroom speaks for itself. You'll find a gift as wonderful as the love that brought you there. Every showcase home to magnificent designs. Tara Fine Jewelry Company, Beaufort, just 3 miles from the Mall of Georgia.
New investigations break on Channel 2 Action News. We get problems solved, plain and simple. Every day we follow the facts.
Started digging, only to find...
Getting you the answers you need now.
We have live. Team 2 coverage.
Channel 2 never stops advocating for you.
An investigation regarding your tax dollars.
We're more than just Atlanta's news.
A warning for consumers regarding...
We've got your back all over North Georgia. See what's new, live every day at 4, 5, and 6 on Channel 2 Action News.
You get up every morning and make it all work. You make the hospitals and the labs work. You keep the shelves stocked, the cash registers ringing, the production lines producing. At Vestas, we have the uniforms and workplace supplies you need to do what you do every day. When you think uniforms, floor mats, first aid kits, restroom supplies, think Vestas. Vestas, uniforms and workplace supplies for the people who make it all work. Learn more at Vestas.com.
Don't let a DUI ruin your life. Hire the attorney that other attorneys hire. GeorgeStein.com.
Founded by hardworking Georgians in 1992, Builders provides tailored insurance solutions to safeguard workers and business owners from costly accidents. Explore reliable workers' compensation and general liability products at BLDRS.com. Builders, insurance built strong.
At Cigna Healthcare, we're designing a better way to treat your aching bones and joints. And that starts with predicting problems before they even become problems, up to a year in advance, with up to 93% accuracy. When you save time avoiding surgeries you don't need, you can spend time doing the things you love. When it comes to healthcare, a better system means better outcomes for everyone. That's better by design. Learn more at Cigna.com/better.
When everyone in the family wants something different from this year's vacation, there's only one thing to do. Plan for Pigeon Forge. From gorgeous mountain views, shows, and shopping for leisure lovers, to coasters, a 200-foot swing, and hundreds more rides for adventure seekers. Plus Dollywood's epic array of fun. There's plenty of variety for the whole family, all in one place. Unique experiences, quality time, and memories for years to come. Find your personal favorites. Plan your getaway at mypigeonforge.com.
Am I wrong?
You're 100% right.
I won't go there, though.
I definitely see it.
I will just say this.
I have a drink of blood.
With CNN on the monitor there, not to get too... If CNN is going to plant their flag in DEI, good luck. The country hates it. The country hates it. People of all sizes, all colors. Everyone can, they just, most places it was always great. You have maybe 2 people in HR. And then a couple of years ago, we're going to have a whole. Now in most places they're gone. Because, you still got to write checks. And then a couple of years later, they haven't produced anything. They haven't done anything to help us sell product. I hope, hey, the DEI people, hope you had fun. You basically stole a lot of money from gullible corporations and all that, but it's over. When you work for some place, what you do has to help that company sell things. That's what they do. They sell things. If you're somebody who doesn't like selling things, well, there's plenty of other things that you can do. But if you work somewhere for years and years, what you do has to help them sell things. You're not just there to cause problems, which is basically what happens. So CNN, good luck. If you're going, nobody cares. Trump is never going to be hurt by saying something bad about DEI in any situation. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. All right, George Stein. Here's a guy who knows how to sell things. Very productive.
He sells the law.
He sells justice.
There we go.
And he does it perfectly. All right. So you brought up this next story before we left.
I teased it.
You
like
teased
a true
it.
Radio professional.
A good radio. Well, this show needs at least one. And
we got Blue.
We appreciate you. Blue's a pro.
An up-and-comer.
So what do we have?
In Colorado, elephants are not considered people, according to their Colorado Springs court.
All right.
They had to
George,
go to court.
Well, we'll get to why this is all going on, but my guess is that this holds for more than Colorado.
I agree.
Yes. So what's behind this case?
Well, this animal activist rights group brought a lawsuit. They actually filed a habeas corpus action claiming unlawful detention. When somebody is unlawfully detained in court, you file a habeas corpus action to free them.
Right.
But in order to have standing to file that in normal circumstances, you have to be a human being. And so they're claiming that you can't bring it on behalf of elephants. And furthermore, the zoo where they're currently at, they're saying that they're basically happy there, and if the animal rights activists want to move them to a sanctuary where there's other animals and herds, and the zoo is contending in their counter lawsuit that it wouldn't be a good thing because they're older, they'd have to adjust, and larger herds of animals would cause distress to the elephants. So that's their argument.
That is probably more than likely true, given the fact that they've been at the zoo for all of these years, and they've been conditioned to that. What I find interesting, I think what's happening here is this group, what do they call the Non-Human Rights Group?
The Non-Human Rights Project, NRP.
There was a story a couple of years ago. I don't know if it was an elephant or it was something else. So what they do, and I wanted to bring this up, George, because this is something that happens a lot, is their job is they're going to bring these cases as much as they can, right? Because they just want to push the boundaries of the law as much as they can in order to get what they want are rights for these animals. I don't think that it can work, but it's nothing new in the law, right? You go and you just go to different districts and you try to get a precedent on your side. Isn't that what they're trying to do?
That's what they're trying to do, and it hasn't seemed to work thus far. But I think a collateral cause of the reason they're doing it is to kind of fill their coffers with donations too.
Right. Yeah. Because people care about. Now, I'm not a fan of the concept of the zoo. Nothing against the local zoo or anything. I'm just not. I'm not a fan of. I think animals belong out there where animals are, unless they're pets.
The idea that when you go to any of these zoos out there and they tell you, well, that's enough space for them, is incorrect. Yeah. I mean, they're safer than they would be in the wild, but they roam for.
And it certainly
miles
is
and
true.
Miles and miles.
It certainly is true that if they're there and they live most of their lifespan there, putting them back out would not be a good idea. That's absolutely true. But I remember once I always heard about the San Diego Zoo when I lived in Los Angeles, and my brother-in-law lived in San Diego. So we went to the San Diego Zoo, probably because of Johnny Carson, because that lady would always show up from the San Diego Zoo. And I thought, wow, I'm not a huge fan of zoos, but there's the San Diego Zoo. It's going to be great. And I remember seeing like an elephant, and it was like in a circle. It kind of like couldn't walk more than 3 or 4 feet around. As me walking through there, I was not blown away by the majesty of the animal. I was just thinking, what kind of life is this? What kind of life? And so, if you really, really, really go down that rabbit hole, you might decide to start a legal thing and see if you can get rights. But in reality, we are the stewards. Right? That's the way that it's looked at. So you can go to jail for mistreating an animal, right? For blatantly mistreating an animal.
Absolutely. Yes, you can. There's statutory law against that.
But we would go to jail, not the animal, because we're the humans that broke the law. I don't know. It's a weird thing. I recognize that everything they're doing is going to come up short, but I think that this is the way that people do it. When you have an issue, then you just kind of keep on trying to get a precedent somewhere. There's a lot of groups that do this in different areas, right, George? That are trying to get laws changed. So it's the headline's weird to hear court rules, elephants aren't humans. So that's why it makes the news. But this happens, these kind of things happen, and sometimes they lead to good things. You know, look however you look at good things. If you like marijuana legalization, there was an awful lot of this kind of stuff going on for many years. And just trying to find some place that would say, yes, you're right.
Well, and in this same news cycle, guys, I put these stories intentionally back to back here because the elephants aren't considered people, but in New Zealand, a mountain was granted personhood, recognizing it as an official person. So mountains can be people in New Zealand, but elephants can't be people in the United States.
Well, I would say we have our heads screwed on correctly.
As a human race.
I don't know about the Kiwis. What's the story here, George? Is it the locals refer to it as a person or something, right?
Well, yeah, I think they're claiming there's lots of sort of celestial souls there, people that lived in the past. This is basically like a sacred tribal land that they're trying to preserve. And
it's not Scientology. It's not that volcano that all those souls were dropped or whatever, however that works.
Well, maybe not quite, but sort of analogous to that. So,
right.
But that's what it's all about.
You ever seen their horrible prime minister? That'll explain why they're letting a mountain be a person.
I've never seen. No, I think the person you think is the prime minister isn't the prime minister anymore, right?
Jacinda, she's no longer the prime minister.
I don't look it up. I think that maybe she.
No, she stepped down.
She stepped down.
Oh, all right.
I don't know if it was a scandal or if she just got tired of the job.
She wanted to focus on motherhood, guys.
Really?
Being a mother, yes.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with focusing
Him
on,
over here.
You can do a whole hell of a lot more good for the world by being a good mother than being a good politician. I can guarantee you that. Alex Williams says there's a crash on 85 in Brookhaven.
And they've been holding all lanes for the last several minutes, Eric. This is I-85 southbound, North Road, Hills Road, exit 89. They got the cars off to the right. I think Hero's trying to get some debris out of the roadway. Then hopefully we can at least get the left lanes back open, but slow back to Claremont, or back to Claremont. You can use Beaufort Highway as an alternate. 85 northbound slows out of the cabin in Gwinnett County from 285 up toward a Beaver Ruin Road. Then secondary slow zone from Sugarloaf Parkway up to 985. 400 northbound, not bad. 75 northbound, really just a tap of the brakes from 575 up to Chastain Road in Kennesaw. Trouble on I-285 by the airport. Andrew Seco, Cool Day Carrier Traffic Center.
Trouble indeed. Looking at some right lane issues here. Got a crash 285 north, the inner loop at Camp Creek Parkway. That's exit 2. Feeling the pinch on the way back as you're leaving Union City from 85 northbound. And we just watched some trouble clear. All lanes back open, but we're we're slow going here. 285 west, the outer loop, Roswell Road, exit 25. This is sponsored by the Georgia Lottery. Tonight's Powerball jackpot is $89 million. Powerball players can win millions playing in store or online at glottery.com. Only from the Georgia Lottery. The drawings are every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Hi, it's Tim Andrews from the Von Hessler Doctorate, inviting you to check out the Popcast, my weekly pop culture and entertainment show. Joining me this week, Nate and Megan Trinrud. They're the brother and sister duo that created the hit television show School Spirits, streaming now on Paramount+. Plus, Greg Russ, another doctrinaire, joins me to talk about AI and a little bit about the Oscars. That's the Popcast, tomorrow night at 7 on 95.5 WSB.
Dave Baker here. So you're leaving for work, but the garage door won't open. Is it the opener? Is the spring broken? Now you're late and your car is trapped. Don't panic. Overhead Door Company of Atlanta is here with same-day emergency service. They won't leave you stuck. Overhead Door Company of Atlanta is the original Red Ribbon Garage Door Company, trusted in Atlanta since 1935. Call 404-USA-DOOR or schedule online at overheaddooratlanta.com.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Are they promising you up to 10% growth per year guaranteed for your retirement income? If not, you need a new financial advisor. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hard-working folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 up front or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't work when you're supposed to be retired. And if any financial advisor tells you it's too good to be true, they simply don't have the options we do. Call Trajan today at 404-390-4000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
A happy place comes in many colors. One that leaves you feeling refreshed. Something that gets you all fired up. Or gives you the space to chill. Whatever your color, bring happiness home with CertaPro Painters and make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Start your year off stress-free and sell your home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our offers are the strongest in the industry. When you receive a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, there's no showings, no open houses, and no stress. One of our clients, Tiffany, said, Mark Spain Real Estate was wonderful in answering any questions I had along the way. Find out what your guaranteed offer will be and close in as little as 21 days. There's no obligation. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Mercedes?
Check.
BMW?
Check.
Audi, Volkswagen?
Check.
Bentley, Rolls-Royce, and Lambo?
Check, check, and check. At Rocco's European Garage, we take pride in providing full service for all luxury and European import vehicles. This is Rocco. Visit one of our 6 locations for top-notch customer service that includes upfront pricing, customer approval prior to us beginning work, and a 3-day appointment window to get you back on the road quicker. All without voiding your car's manufacturer warranty. Online at roccoseuropeangarage.com.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM. Or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
All right, George Stein. Perhaps, why don't we go ahead and, why don't you tell people how they can get more George Stein now, and then we'll do the last story.
Yes, well, in your time of need, if you want a quality lawyer that's battle-tested in the courtroom, remember this. If you've been charged with a DUI, go to georgestein.com, or if you've been involved in a motorcycle accident, go to steelhorselaw.com.
All right, this next story is about a young thug. I thought he was completely exonerated in the Fonnie Willis RICO trial thing,
Probation.
but it was probation, and as part of the probation, he can't. It's 15 years of probation, and part of the probation is he's not allowed to be in the city of Atlanta for 10 years.
For the first 10 years, yes.
For the first 10 years. So what is this story?
So now they have granted Young Thug the right to travel through the Atlanta airport as part of the probation.
Okay, so he can't leave the airport and go eat somewhere in Atlanta, but he can travel through Atlanta to get somewhere else.
Lawful purposes, business, and it says
no, but
here,
I'm saying they're saying even then he can't. What they're saying, I think, George, is that he can travel through the airport, right?
Correct. But there are some exceptions, as Jared was saying, for him to be in Metro Atlanta. I think one of them is medical treatment or legitimate business purposes and those sorts of things. And one of the things that we're going to see, because it's already getting watered down from just 6 months ago, one of the things we're going to see as more time goes by, I suspect his lawyer is going to file some more motions and eventually, get him on non-reporting probation, I suspect.
And is there a way to kind of creep to the point where he can actually, within a few years, be in Atlanta doing things?
Yeah, I think it's definitely going in that direction. If he performs well while he's on probation and there's no violations and he doesn't get in trouble again, he doesn't get arrested and, of course, doesn't get caught with guns or anything like that, then I think they're going to lighten up as time goes by.
But what about the slime life, George? Are we going to be able to get the...
I was looking to move to Slime City.
You wanted to go to Slime City. Tim Andrews said he'd move to Slime City.
Sure would. Probably better run than DeKalb, right?
Blue lives in Slime City. So,
I was going to say.
He was looking for a new mayor. So, I guess so. The whole Slime City thing, that's not going to happen. Not anytime. Not for 15 years. I
think he's focusing on his art. Matter of fact, he's writing a lot of songs, and he's put some new songs out right now that are highly successful because he had plenty of time to write while he was in jail for a couple of years. So.
That's interesting. They allowed him to do that in jail. I mean, some places they won't let you have writing implements because they're afraid that you'll, jab your eyeball out with it or something. They worry about things like this. So he was able to write in jail. And when he's 55 or 60 years old, there'll be an interview with him, and he'll say, that was the best thing in my life. I was able to sit there, write songs. I wasn't disturbed.
One of the best pieces of audio, Eric, I don't know if we ever played it on the show or not, but one of his girlfriends, quotes, came up to the, visit him at jail, and they have all the audio of him just talking to her, and I mean, it was dirty. It was. I mean, what they were saying to each other.
So it's was it through the glass?
Yeah,
kind of thing? What, this is what I would do. When you get out, this is going to happen.
I'm going to do this to you.
Oh,
you do
I want that audio.
I'm going to see if I can find it.
No, not for the show, just for myself.
For later.
George, thank you very much, and congratulations on going to France and getting a gold medal. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Alex Williams says there's better news on 85 into Midtown.
Yeah, we had that earlier crash, 85 southbound at North Druid Hills. It had a lane shut down for almost 10 minutes. They got it all to the right. Police still holding one right lane, 85 southbound North Druid Hills, exit 89. You're slow from Claremont Road. Once you get past that, you won't slow on 85 South until you get past Georgia 400 approaching Midtown, but 75 South, that is no fun leaving Moores Mill Road, trying to get down into the city with delays continuing down to I-20. Northbound jams in from University Avenue up past Peachtree Pine Street. How was the ride to the southern suburbs, Andrew Seco?
Still looking a little tough, 75 north and south. You were all jammed up from Stockbridge through McDonough down to Locust Grove, where we're still dealing with that trouble by the airport. Crash still in the right lane, 285 north, the inner loop. When you get to Camp Creek Parkway, that is exit 2. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage on any age, system, make, or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSBE.
Valentine's Day is the time to pull out all the stops and sweep that special someone off their feet. It's the most romantic holiday of the year, so what better time to visit my friends at Tara Fine Jewelry Company in Buford. This is Scott Slade. Tara is Atlanta's first stop for lavish, heartfelt surprises. Their natural diamonds are more beautiful than you could imagine. From fashionable diamond necklaces to stackable bangle bracelets and rings, Tara has the perfect gift for you. Visit Tara Fine Jewelry Company, only 3 miles from the Mall of Georgia. Tara Fine Jewelry Company. It's worth the drive.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
Dad!
Dad, one more horsey ride, please.
This living room rodeo moment made possible by Emory Orthopedics and Spine Center. When Dad needed back surgery, he came to Emory. The difference? Emory's among the highest in patient satisfaction and best surgical outcome rates in the nation. And Emory uses the most advanced research developed by our top surgeons to get Dad's back surgery done right the first time. Giddy up. EmoryHealthcare.org/orthodifference.
They want another review.
And here you are getting your news, weather, and traffic on WSB. As a small business owner, you might be thinking,
if only the hundreds of thousands of WSB listeners knew that my business is perfect for their needs.
Growing your business is easier than you think. Most of the successful and respected brands you hear advertising on WSB grew their leads and revenue connecting with our listeners.
Brands like Cool Ray, Breda Pest Management, and Finley Roofing. They built relationships with the listeners who tried their products, loved them, and told their friends. This could be your business.
It's easier than you think because it's what we do. Customize advertising campaigns to increase your leads and revenue.
WSB has a team of creative brand builders who know how to get your message out and grow your business.
Join the elite Atlanta small businesses that grew to the next level thanks to WSB. Just go to WSBradio.com and click the advertise button in the top navigation bar, and someone will contact you shortly. Grow your business the right way with WSB Radio.
I'm John Morgan. When you call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, your very own army springs into action immediately, 24/7. Our investigators, legal staff, and over 900 lawyers work together to fight to get you the best result as quickly and easily as possible. Insurance companies know who we are, and now you know it too. This firm was built for greatness. This firm was built for you. Injured? Call your army. We're ready to roll. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 6 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by the Lloyd Advisory Group. Our top story, an update on the mid-air disaster in Washington, D.C. Happening now. Investigators giving an update.
CBS News special report. The National Transportation Safety Board is briefing reporters at this hour on the mid-air collision Wednesday night between a passenger jet and an Army Black Hawk helicopter near Reagan National Airport. NTSB board member Todd Inman says an NTSB Black Hawk certified pilot has now been brought in from Alaska.
Once we realized the dynamics and the intricacies of the Black Hawk, we have brought that member in. They are on scene now, providing direct technical assistance to the NTSB.
Inman confirms 2 black boxes from the passenger plane have been recovered. Officials say they have recovered 41 bodies and expect to find more when they retrieve all of the pieces of the fuselage. Of the 41, 28 have been positively identified. More than 100 family members are in the area and receiving briefings. The NTSB briefing continues at this hour. CBS News Special Report. I'm Christopher Cruz.
And we're hearing today from family members of the 2 D.C. crash victims with ties to Georgia.
Ryan O'Hara was the crew chief on the military helicopter. He grew up in Gwinnett County. His father, Gary O'Hara, tells CBS his son's death is devastating.
I keep wondering if my wife and I and Taryn will ever feel like we're going to be whole again, because we're just broken.
And Samuel Lilly, the co-pilot of the American Airlines jet, grew up near Savannah. His father, Timothy Lilly, is also a pilot.
As a pilot, you never stop flying. You don't give up on the airplane.
The 2 are among the 67 people killed in that crash. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
56 degrees in Atlanta. Rain moving out this evening. Will it be a nice weekend? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. Gwinnett County Superintendent of Schools Dr. Calvin Watts is out.
Proud of the work that we've been able to accomplish in 3.5 years that I've been here.
The school board votes 3-2 today to release Watts from his contract. It was set to expire in July of 2026. The contract now expires this April. He'll be replaced by Dr. Al Taylor, the current chief of schools in Gwinnett County. State lawmakers look to close a loophole that allows some disabled workers in Georgia to get paid the bare minimum.
Currently, there are 8 community organizations in Georgia that take advantage of a federal certificate allowing them to pay people with disabilities less than the minimum wage. The Dignity and Pay Act would require them to stop the practice and bring the pay up to the federal minimum within 2 years.
This is so important because all Georgians, regardless of disability, deserve dignity in the pay that they receive
for the work that they do.
Charlotte Densmore with the Georgia Council on Developmental Disability says some of the pay is as low as 22 cents an hour. The bill has bipartisan support. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
A Lilburn man is going to prison for the rest of his life after he's found guilty of raping an acquaintance at gunpoint following a jealous encounter.
She thought he was someone she could date, but he was hiding a violent jealous streak.
This case was particularly scary.
Gwinnett County Assistant District Attorney Megan Matucci says Santos Amaya Bonilla's attention ramped up in mere weeks to stalking this woman at the grocery where she worked.
And then it escalated with him seeing her talking to a male colleague and him just going off and getting violent and aggressive.
Friends convinced her to tell police, and when she told jurors at trial,
the jury deliberated for less than an hour.
Amaya Bonilla will serve 2 consecutive life sentences. Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
President Trump's tariffs against Canada, Mexico, and China take effect tomorrow. The president says he's imposing tariffs on U.S. neighbors because of a multi-billion-dollar trade deficit.
We have about a $200 billion deficit with Canada, getting close to $200 billion. They've treated us very unfairly. And I say, why should we be subsidizing Canada?
The president also blames Canada and Mexico for the fentanyl crisis along with China. It is now 6:04 and the Von Haessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, live team coverage of traffic and weather and triple team traffic begins with Alex Williams.
Checking the ride to the northern suburbs, 85 northbound, still seeing those delays from Chamblee Tucker up to Jimmy Carter Boulevard. Might have had some trouble clear up around Indian Trail because once you get past that, it's a good ride up to Highway 316. Moderate volume north of Highway 316, 85 north from Sugarloaf Parkway up toward 985, 400 northbound, not bad. And the only delays I'm seeing on I-75 northbound are in Kennesaw between Barrett Parkway and Chastain Road. Checking the ride through downtown, Andrew Seco, Cool Day Carrier Traffic Center.
Still seeing brake lights either side of the connector here. 75, 85, you're slow from East Point through the heart of downtown up into Midtown. Do have some trouble heading south onto the connector. Stall blocking the HOV lane, maybe a second left lane at times here. 75 south approaching Howell Mill Road, exit 252. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official heating of winter. Here's meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Rain showers moving out for this evening. Still cloudy with lows in the mid-40s through tomorrow morning. But tomorrow afternoon, the sunshine returns, high 65, and warming up on Sunday with sunny skies. Morning low 45, afternoon high 68. Monday and Tuesday will be partly cloudy with morning lows in the low 50s, daytime highs in the mid-70s. Staying warm and dry through the middle of next week with Wednesday and Thursday highs in the mid-70s.
Storm Tracker radar shows the rain off to the east of Atlanta right now. 51 degrees in Alpharetta, 55 in East Point, 56 in Loganville. More news at 6:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Excuse me. Man.
You know, they have a cough button there.
What? Where's the cough? I don't have a cough button. I got a delay button. I got a talk back.
Oh, that's right. You got the off button.
I can talk to Blue. Actually, I talk to Blue.
That's right. You cannot
kind of. Hold on. Thanks, Blue.
That was a fun silence for the audience.
Hour 4 of the Von Haessler Doctrine begins right now. I tell you, I'm a little annoyed. Maybe we got to go back to turning CNN off because then it distracts me and it becomes too much of a show.
Put on the quad box. I love the news quad.
Oh, yeah, the quads, when you realize that all 24-hour news stations are doing exactly the same thing.
Well, Fox News this week has been so difficult to watch because it's all about how wonderful everything is. And to the point where
you can watch MSNBC and they'll tell you how terrible everything is.
But at least right now, I feel like when Biden was in, I was getting more information from Fox.
Yeah.
And now vice versa is happening. I was getting more information from MSNBC and CNN, at least this week. I know it's a small sample size.
I still am not watching either or any.
You torture me by making me do that.
I get none of my, it's been now like 5-6 years. I get zero information from television news unless I read about something that happened and then I go to YouTube and I find the clip and I watch it. And some kind of weird thing happened between an anchor. And one happened the other day between Jake Tapper and Stephen Miller, and it's wonderful America. Whatever you see on YouTube, you have for your own taste. Stephen Miller takes down Jake Tapper, or Jake Tapper puts Stephen Miller. It's like, hey, we're not trying to change. We're not trying to. What do you think? Okay, here's a thing for you. And this is what you can believe, and this is why. And you can go tell your friends, and you heard it here. You can tell your friends why Stephen Miller won. Or if you're on the other side, we're going to give you a little ammo, and you can tell your friends why Jake Tapper won. Because you are an idiot. We understand that. So we're just going to.
How long has this been going on? It's been so long.
Social media
I don't remember.
I
don't remember all of them being antagonistic with the people that they're talking to.
I think social media changed everything because that was the tone that was taken on social media, and then the legacy media became afraid. Old man on the dance floor. This is getting away from us. So that's why then you saw, like the New York Times will have a headline that starts with "No, we're not going to blah blah blah." Like children speak to each other.
New York Times had an ad on.
That's how children speak to each other.
Yeah.
No.
They had an ad on CNN.
We grew up with adults,
They had an ad on CNN. You'll appreciate this this morning where they were talking about with Trump opening up Guantanamo, how there's only one reporter there. And with your subscription, if you pay for it, you'll help keep a reporter and help keep the powerful accountable by having a New York Times reporter at Guantanamo Bay.
Why don't you just break the law? They can get sent there. It won't cost them anything. It's just
Cuba would pay for you to go there.
So but the reason I'm bringing up CNN is, do we have to keep seeing this crash over and over and over again? I know
it's getting excessive.
It's beyond excessive. And like earlier, they were showing because they're picking up things out of the water, and here's a chair from this. What? How is that news? How is that? Does that make me understand something more? I'm a relatively intelligent human being, so if a plane goes down into water, I'm pretty sure that all the things that I've seen in planes are down there. So it's not news if you show me a thing and go, oh, there's a door. And then I think about, and I have to admit that I know for a fact that it's not their job to be completely worried about the families and their reaction. But can you imagine how hard it is over the last couple of days to not watch images of your loved ones being killed? Just over and over and over again. And I know are they supposed to care about that? I guess not, but it occurs to me that there's nothing I'm seeing again over and over and over as they talk to people in their houses, because since the pandemic, nobody can go to the studio, and on Zoom or whatever. And then as they talk, it's just B-roll over and over and over again. And is that necessary? It's called news. What am I learning from that? I already know there was a plane, that a helicopter hit a plane, and a lot of people lost their lives. And we're going to find out whose fault it was. I think Trump has the right inclination when he's talking about the helicopter was in the wrong place. That's what I felt from the very beginning. I'm not talking about all this DEI stuff. I'm just talking about, it seems to me that those commercial airlines, their flight paths are just absolute. I mean, they're the same all the time. And so the helicopter, for some reason, didn't know it was higher than it was supposed to be. I don't know why. The whole damn thing is just a tragedy. Does 24-hour news, or does any news even know how to deal with tragedy? Is that even a thing? Is that an element? I had a friend, one of my best friends, this is back in 1990 in Western New York, was murdered by her, boyfriend, whatever. And her mother told me that the news people who showed up were just the rudest, just non-caring people she had ever, they're showing up at a place where in this particular incident, the mother had seen it happen. It happened in the street. And so it's always been with me, because I've never been around news people when there's any kind of tragedy in my life. I've been around them when goofy things happen. Radio guy gets fired, blah, 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 who cares? And I've noticed that even then, it's okay, they know the story they want before they even get here, kind of thing.
Yeah, you're just the meat of the sandwich. They've already got the bread.
They've already figured it all out.
Got the bread.
Just stand over there, do what you're told, shut up, we'll tell your story.
We'll show you the VU meters.
Yeah, exactly. So I've seen some of that, but I don't understand what is the necessity of seeing this for the 9,000th time, especially since you're not seeing anything new. Everything you're going to see is going to be from far away. It's going to be a fireball in the sky. And it annoys me. I'm not saying, if I think about it, should that be their motivation of why they do things? Probably not. But their motivation should be to impart information to people. That's what they call themselves, news. And I just don't see how me seeing this thing happen again and again and again and again is doing anything for that.
To that point, Eric, I mean, last night, right before turning on Fire Aid, we were
Look at
watching.
that. Are we going to have a concert for this now next week?
I would assume so. We were watching the NBC and CBS 24-hour feed because we knew that Fire Aid was going to come on both those channels.
Was it on everything?
So it was weird. They didn't put it on regular cable, and I understand why, because there's a lot of F words, a lot of N words, a lot of all that stuff in all the songs.
Oh, they were okay. They were holding back.
Yeah, so they kept it on the streaming for that reason there. But when going over to NBC News specifically, I remember watching it, and it kept going to different angles of that plane going down, different perspectives. I mean,
an update at the top of the hour and the bottom of the hour is all you need for this.
Right, and you don't need to keep showing it over and over again.
Right.
When you're doing that, I don't care. And Jake Tapper, I'm sure he can talk his way through why everything's newsworthy that they do. You are using it at a certain point. You're using it as entertainment. You're using it as clickbait. You're using it as that. And that may be a lot of things, and some people may be for or against them, but it's not informative. If somebody doesn't know it happened until today, they don't need to see it. I never need to see it. But I could see showing it a little bit.
Last night, in a span of 15...
I mean, Dale Earnhardt's family went to court and won so that no one's ever seen the dead body of Dale Earnhardt. And there was a reason for that. They were protecting themselves more than anybody else. We don't want to be going through our lives and then every once in a while have to go, oh, there's our dead father. And so but this is different, I guess.
Well, last night, again...
It's just from the point of view of being a publisher, an editor, the head of the CNN newsroom, I just think at some point you should show a little bit of humanity. Just a little bit. I know you're in news, so not going to be a lot of it. But, these are just people, they were in a 3-hour flight. It was almost over. You're landing. That's the problem with this country. We don't know. We can't even clear out 24 hours, 3 days to just go, this is tragic. We can start fighting with each other, but we got families here, people in the airport waiting for these people. That's news. That's important as well. And I'm not arguing that they should never show it or there's not some context that it should be shown. But when you have these round tables and then, half the screen is just the B-roll and every, 35, 40 seconds you see this thing blow up
That's what
again.
was happening last night. In the 15 minutes up to Fire Aid.
Ooh, we have a new angle.
It would literally go 3 minutes talking about it, commercial break, come back to it, show the crash again, take another commercial break, come back, talk about it again. I mean, it was excessive.
You can do your job, and you can be informative, and you can be on the edge, and you can be impactful and still be human. I believe that is true. I'm not naive. I understand how these things work, but I believe that you can still win by showing humanity every once in a while. Alex Williams says there's a red alert downtown.
Yeah, not good here, Eric. At 616, all lanes of I-75, 85 northbound are shut down with heavy police fire department activity right at Peachtree, Pine Street, exit 249. And southbound, they have multiple left lanes blocked with this police fire activity as well. Bottom line, it is an absolute mess and a no-go zone through downtown on the connector. Think about Northside Drive, Peachtree Street, Piedmont, even Moreland Avenue, and I-285 can save you some time to avoid this red alert. And now they've shut down 75, 85 southbound, so completely shut down in both directions on the downtown connector at Peachtree, Pine Street. Andrew Seco, Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center.
Seeing some delays heading north past Spaghetti Junction, where 85 meets 285 into Cab. We're heading north on 85, slowing you from 285 all the way up towards Pleasant Hill Road. That's exit 104. And heading by the Big Rockstone Mountain here, we are 78 eastbound, slowing down from Memorial Drive all the way down towards Rockbridge Road. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Tomorrow on the Nightcap with Jared Yamamoto, dry January is officially over.
But for many Atlantans, dry January often just makes for what I like to call Rookie February. I'll explain why and cover the latest news of the night tomorrow night from 11 to midnight on my nightcap. Brought to you by Guardian Home Experts, Heating, Air, and Plumbing.
Overhead Door Company of Atlanta is hiring residential garage door technicians and installers. You can earn a hiring bonus up to $2,500. Apply today at overheaddooratlanta.com. overheaddooratlanta.com.
They want another review.
And here you are getting your news, weather, and traffic on WSB. As a small business owner, you might be thinking,
if only the hundreds of thousands of WSB listeners knew that my business is perfect for their needs.
Growing your business is easier than you think. Most of the successful and respected brands you hear advertising on WSB grew their leads and revenue connecting with our listeners.
Brands like Coolray, Breda Pest Management, and Finley Roofing. They built relationships with the listeners who tried their products, loved them, and told their friends. This could be your business.
It's easier than you think because it's what we do. Customize advertising campaigns to increase your leads and revenue.
WSB has a team of creative brand builders who know how to get your message out and grow your business.
Join the elite Atlanta small businesses that grew to the next level thanks to WSB. Just go to WSBradio.com and click the advertise button in the top navigation bar, and someone will contact you shortly. Grow your business the right way with WSB Radio.
This message is for anyone looking for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance, even if you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or taking anxiety meds. Here's an example. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe overweight with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost about $200 a month. We're Term Provider, experts in finding affordable term life insurance for those that may not be in perfect health. If you've had prostate cancer, heart conditions, high cholesterol, or on prescription medications, you may still qualify for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance. Get a quick quote by calling Term Provider at 800-777-1979. 800-777-1979. If you're looking for term life insurance but have type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, or have other health issues, call Term Provider at 800-777-1979 or visit termprovider.com. termprovider.com.
If better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today and start the year off knowing you're giving your liver some well-deserved relief.
You can find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS or online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
Just to put a bow on that, the Zapruder film with JFK's assassination, there was a period of time where it was shown a lot. The 80s, leading up to the JFK movie, it was shown all the time, and you were seeing the inside of an actual president's head. It was like, it was jarring, and you would see it on TV shows, everywhere, all around.
Then they stabilized it.
I don't know what they did, but all of a sudden they stopped showing it.
Oh, no, you can see it anywhere now, but it's stabilized, and they digitally upgraded it.
I know, but you don't see it on TV the way you used to.
True.
Something happened, and I don't know exactly what it was, but something happened that kind of pulled that back to where you have to go look for the Zapruder film, and it may be more stark and clear now than ever before, but you have to go look for it. Even if they show parts of it on the news now, they don't show the actual kill shot. So, but there was a time there where leading up to the movie JFK, and then in JFK to the left, over and over again, you just saw it everywhere. And I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a group of newsroom people who decided we probably should pull this back. I don't know why it happened, but now you have to go seek it out. You can find it pretty easily, but you have to go seek it out. It's not like a wallpaper.
It's blurred a lot, too. The last couple times I've seen it, yeah.
I mean, in the 80s and 90s, it was just like, just seeing it all the time. It was disgusting.
Well, that Bud Dwyer video, that was shown quite a bit.
Yeah, I never saw that. I avoided that.
I saw it live.
Well, you can't help that. You know what Bud Dwyer is?
No, I
Bud
don't know.
Dwyer was a guy in Pennsylvania. Was he part of the local government?
Some local committee person or government person.
Was he scandalized? Was there an investigation on him or
Yes,
something?
he was going to be imprisoned or at the very least fined heavily. And Jared, he had a manila envelope while he was at giving a press conference at a podium. And he pulled a gun out. And people are like, no, Bud. And he put it in his mouth and he shot himself. And the camera zoomed right in on his face as his body collapsed to the ground.
Yeah.
And it was like a fountain.
I have never heard or seen this video.
And then,
My goodness.
see, there you go. I knew about it when it happened, but it wasn't
a snow day.
It wasn't to me like you were in Pennsylvania at the time, so it wasn't, and you were watching it. So to me, it wasn't like one of those things that I saw everywhere. Interesting thing about that is I found out that wasn't the first time that happened. There was a lady. I sent this to you.
A reporter.
Her name was, I can't remember, like 74 or something. And maybe she was a reporter. Somebody did exactly the same thing in the 70s. I feel like her name was Caroline something, maybe, or but yeah, went up to the podium and did the same thing. And so my guess is that's out there.
Christine Chubbuck.
Was she a reporter? Was she a?
Yes, she shot herself with a revolver on live TV. She was a reporter.
Yeah. So my point being here is not to get too macabre with all this, is when they keep showing this plane crash and helicopter over and over again, there is precedent here for like, okay, we have these things, but but we're gonna slow it down. We got it, Chubbuck.
Chris, the last thing she said on air, she said the network's excited to present exclusive coverage of an attempted suicide. And then
really?
That was her last words.
She said, "You like blood and guts."
Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know what was going on.
They gave the video to the family, so you're never. Thank God.
Right.
You're never going to see it.
Right. That's it. So we've kind of ended up going down the rabbit hole of being macabre by talking about these things. I know, but my point is, you can make a decision to just not show people being killed. And it's a good idea, I think. Every time you look at that, you're watching, 50-some people lose their lives.
64.
64 people lose their lives.
On the plane and then
It
3 in the
shouldn't be
helicopter.
I guess what I'm saying is it shouldn't be B-roll. I mean, 4 days ago, all these souls were walking around. Like, that should not be B-roll. And it bothers me that to the television networks, it is just that. And I know I can't change anything, and I know I'm not trying to understand.
Even last night,
just my opinion.
While watching it, there were so many, not to dismiss the story by any stretch either, but there were other things that could have been covered instead of just 3 minutes, we're going to talk about this story, we'll break for commercials, and then come back to the story. There were other stories that were going on.
Well, that's the whole thing about
significant.
24-hour news is we get less news now.
Yeah.
Because 24-hour news seems to be 6 to 8 stories a day, and they all cover them. Now, they have different points of view. On MSNBC, what Trump's doing with DEI is the worst thing of all time, and the whole world will come to an end. And on Fox, what Trump's doing with DEI is the greatest thing, and it's about time, and finally we think we can flourish again, and all that. But they're talking about the same stuff. Look out your window. You live on the planet Earth. There are at least 9,325 legitimate stories going on that planet every day. We have 3 major 24-hour news networks, and they all talk about 6 to 8 stories every day. This is ironic. Now we have way more news, but we get way less news. Alex Williams, still watching the red alert downtown.
And it is now a double red alert, Eric. 6:25. All lanes are completely shut down in both directions. This is downtown. 75, 85, both north and southbound, shut down right at Peachtree, Pine Street, exit number 249. No traffic getting through in either direction. Your southbound delays, you're already slowing back into Buckhead. 75 south slows right around Northside Howell Mill. Northside, you're stacked up before University Avenue. Some alternates to avoid this. Northside Drive, Peachtree Street. You can take Moreland Avenue if you're south of the city, or even I-285. Some ways to get down this double red alert, shutting down the downtown connector. How is the ride on the south side, Andrew Seco?
Still seeing those brake lights north and south on 75 through Henry County. Looking a little tough. North and south, you're slow from Locust Grove through McDonough all the way up towards Stockbridge. With a little bit of a slow spot here emerging by the airport. 75 south, on and off those brakes from Cleveland Avenue all the way down towards Forest Parkway. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage to any age, system, make, or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Owning a a home means a lot of tough decisions, like who can I trust with the comfort of my family? Hey, it's Jared Yamamoto from the Von Haessler Doctrine for Guardian Home Experts. You know me, I'm an Atlanta guy, born and raised, but I'm not going to use a company just because my parents did or because I heard their name a lot. Heating, cooling, and plumbing options and pricing can be really complicated. So I did my research and I chose local, family-owned Guardian Home Experts. Over 5,000 five-star reviews, affordable options, high-quality work, and impeccable customer service. Get a new system with Guardian and Daikin to get up to a $1,450 instant rebate and 0% interest for up to 60 months. That's as low as $99 a month to own, not lease. Plus, Guardian offers a meet or beat price match guarantee up to $500. Details online. And here's my favorite part.
Call 470 experts. Guardian Home Experts.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Kids across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. Hungry kids get sick more often and can struggle in school. It can be harder for them to focus and learn. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good, healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures.
We want to ensure that all of our kids have healthy meals every day.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping feed our kids.
To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's news and talk.
At 6:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio, news sponsored by Mark Spain Real Estate. Our top local story, it is breaking traffic trouble at this hour on the downtown connector. WSB's Alex Williams is live with the latest from the traffic center.
Not good if you're trying to get through downtown, Bill. The entire connector, that's 75-85, both north and southbound, are completely shut down right around William Street, exit 249. If you're coming southbound, that's just south of North Avenue. Northbound, a little north of Freedom Parkway. All lanes shut down in both directions. You can use Peachtree Street, Northside Drive, or I-285 as alternates if you're coming up from the south side. Moreland Avenue will get you up into the city to avoid this red alert, and we'll keep you updated on it. Bill?
Right now, 56 degrees in Atlanta. After a rainy Friday, will it stay dry and warm for the weekend? Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with meteorologist Christina Edwards is coming up. An update from federal safety investigators on the mid-air disaster in Washington, D.C.
CBS News special report: the two black boxes from the passenger jet that collided with an Army helicopter Wednesday night near Reagan National Airport have been recovered, and investigators now say the black box from the helicopter has been found. National Transportation Safety Board member Todd Inman says the investigation into the crash is in full swing.
I know that the controller that was working at the time has been interviewed, and his interviews are ongoing throughout the day.
Inman says parts of the plane's fuselage will be hoisted onto barges that are being brought in.
Barges are en route from Virginia Beach, and we anticipate them to be on scene early tomorrow morning. After their arrival, they will be secured and located, and then significant salvage operations will continue.
Officials say 41 bodies have now been found and 28 of them have been positively identified. CBS News Special Report. I'm Christopher Cruz.
And we're hearing today from the father of Ryan O'Hara, the crew chief of the Army helicopter that collided with the American Airlines plane.
Basically witness your son's death in the news. It's devastating.
Gary O'Hara calls it his worst nightmare. His son graduated from Parkview High School in Gwinnett County in 2014. He leaves behind a wife and one-year-old son. The head of the state's largest school district is voted out.
The Gwinnett County School Board votes 3-2 to end the contract of Superintendent Dr. Calvin Watts in April, more than a year before it was set to expire. He'll be replaced by current Chief of Schools Al Taylor. Watts was hired back in 2021, becoming Gwinnett's first black superintendent. He has faced criticism during his tenure over a number of issues, including the district's discipline policy. One of the two board members voting against terminating Watts says the board should wait until the end of the school year to make such a decision. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
A Cherokee County jury finds a man guilty of raping a teenager.
A Marietta man has been found guilty of rape, aggravated child molestation, aggravated sexual battery, and cruelty to children in the first degree.
The jury got the case about 7 p.m. last night. They decided to come back this morning around 8 and deliberated about 2 hours and returned a verdict on all 7 counts of guilty.
David Bailey is the assistant district attorney with the Blue Ridge Judicial Circuit's Special Victims Unit. He says 34-year-old Alexis Trinidad will be sentenced at a later date. Daphne Young, 95.5 WSB.
WSB Money Update. Stocks don't like the news on President Trump's tariffs that take effect tomorrow. The Dow takes a plunge late in the day, finishing down over 330 points. S&P and NASDAQ also down. News about your health. A lot of flu going around. CBS's Alexander Tin reports new data from the Atlanta-based CDC shows flu infections are high in the South.
This season's second wave of influenza infections is accelerating for another week, with new CDC data showing rates of emergency room visits with the flu now higher than even last season's peak. Nationwide, the CDC says that around 7% of emergency room visits are sick with the flu. Rates are worst in the southeast, although flu trends are picking up in all regions of the country.
It is now 6:34 and time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. And triple team traffic begins here once again. Alex Williams.
The double red alert downtown continues, Bill. 75, 85, both north and southbound, completely shut down in both directions between North Avenue and Freedom Parkway. So a big mess into and out of the city. Northbound delays start almost back at Langford Parkway. Southbound jammed in from the 85-400 merge. This is all due to heavy police fire department activity. You can use Northside Drive, Peachtree Street, or I-285 as your alternates. How is 285 as an alternate? Andrew Seco, Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center.
Lighter than normal volume right now for this part of the evening. We are seeing some brake lights, 285 north and south, converging onto 85 north, right where Spaghetti Junction meets here in Doraville. Got a slow spot heading into Doraville from earlier trouble, 285 east, the Interloop Peachtree Boulevard, exit 31, and still seeing the brake lights rolling through Sandy Springs, 285 westbound, slowing down at Roswell Road, exit 25. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Rain showers moving out for this evening. Still cloudy with lows in the mid-40s through tomorrow morning. But tomorrow afternoon, the sunshine returns, high 65, and warming up on Sunday with sunny skies. Morning low 45, afternoon high 68. Monday and Tuesday will be partly cloudy with morning lows in the low 50s, daytime highs in the mid-70s. Staying warm and dry through the middle of next week with Wednesday and Thursday highs in the mid-70s.
Right now 52 in Dunwoody, 53 in Noonan, it's 56 in Midtown Atlanta. More news at 7 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Your roof has been impacted. Heavy rain, strong winds, damaging storms. Home Fix It show host Dave Baker here. I recommend you get a free roof analysis from my award-winning roofer, Findlay Roofing. No obligation, no charge. FindlayRoofing.com.
Roof. New investigations break on Channel 2 Action News. We get problems solved, plain and simple. Every day we follow the facts.
Started digging, only to find...
Getting you the answers you need now.
We have live. Team 2 coverage.
Channel 2 never stops advocating for you.
An investigation regarding your tax dollars.
We're more than just Atlanta's news.
A warning for consumers regarding...
We've got your back all over North Georgia. See what's new, live every day at 4, 5, and 6 on Channel 2 Action News.
Plan today so you can potentially do the things you've always wanted in retirement. Listen Saturdays at 6 to Retire Ready with David Nicholas of Nicholas Wealth Management. Nicholas Wealth is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies.
Dad, one more horsey ride, please.
This living room rodeo moment made possible by Emory Orthopedics and Spine Center. When Dad needed back surgery, he came to Emory. The difference? Emory's among the highest in patient satisfaction and best surgical outcome rates in the nation. And Emory uses the most advanced research developed by our top surgeons to get Dad's back surgery done right the first time. Giddy up. EmoryHealthcare.org/orthodifference.
Don't let a DUI conviction cost you your career. Get the DUI lawyer, GeorgeStein.com.
Thanks for calling Reliable Heating and Air. How can I help?
Hi, I know it's late, but my water heater just busted and there's water everywhere.
No worries. A plumber's on the way.
Is it expensive to replace?
Nope. Just $29.99 a month, 0 down, no credit check, lifetime warranty, and same-day install guaranteed, or we pay you $300.
Did you say $29 a month?
Yep.
Wow. Okay, let's do it.
Get a plumber fast with Reliable. Book online at reliableair.com.
Reliable air, it's always just right.
All right, let's do this.
Free Audio Association.
We missed some audio yesterday, RFK JR.
We've missed a lot of audio this week.
Well, I don't need you. I don't need you ganging up on me.
You accept this disloyalty? This backhanded stuff?
Well, I'm down a couple of people, but when they get back, I don't know. Maybe I won't.
Lean on Autumn?
Lean on Autumn. Lean on George
that.
Clark. But hopefully, after he's got the pink eye, because my understanding is I guess you can...
It's very contagious.
Is it?
Incredibly.
Even if you don't touch the person's eye?
Well, I mean, he would be behind a control board, which, I mean, even if you just, touch your eye a little bit.
But why couldn't you just tell him to get an eye patch and don't touch your eye?
I think it's easier said than done.
All right.
You remember in COVID you weren't allowed to touch your face? So every night I'd go to bed and I'd put don't touch your face.
Some ridiculous stuff.
Go wipe off your oranges.
Don't touch your face.
Wipe off your
better wash
oranges.
wash those Amazon boxes.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
Leave them outside.
Ridiculous.
I did for about a week. Bring groceries home, wipe them all off with a little wipe. Then realize how dumb that was.
Yes. It's like when you see that Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young documentary, and you see young Eric Von Hessler.
Young.
Well, 38 or something. Well, I was at 40. I was in my 40s then, right? No, I was in my 30s.
2005, so.
Was it 2005?
I think.
I was 41. So, and I'm in there and I'm talking about how the Bush administration, everything they're doing is right, and the war on terror and everything like that. And I completely disagree with that now. Because why? And people come after me about it. And my response is, I made the mistake of trusting my government. I'm sorry. I made the mistake of trusting and I think the same thing is true with this. Hopefully there will never be another situation that we went through like the pandemic. But if there is, people like us are not gonna fall for the first round. It's like, okay, you know what? We'll basically try to keep to ourselves as much as possible, but we're not gonna wash our Amazon boxes. And no matter how many feet you tell us to stay apart from each other, whether we do it or not is one thing, but we'll know you're full of it. Yeah. Like there's no science behind the amount of feet that you. I was in a line once at Thanksgiving at that time, and I had bought a VR set and they had it there, and I was in line, and I had to be 6 feet behind the person in front of me. The person behind me had to be 6 feet behind me, but there was a line 2 feet on either side of me.
Yeah, I know.
Which is ridiculous.
And you could only walk down one way in an aisle at a grocery store, and nobody paid any attention.
Well, after a while, nobody did. But in the beginning, we were all. And I would go back to the same thing as me and the Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young thing. It's like I don't feel that bad about it because I don't think it's wrong that your initial response to something like that should be, well, I'm gonna believe the government. They're my government. It's weird that it took me to 41 years of age, but we didn't have a tax like that through most of my life, so I hadn't been through it.
If there was one thing that was nice, I remember flying, and when you would fly, the middle seat was never occupied because of COVID, so you always
there was some good things like you would.
That was nice.
It was also like the thing where you go into a theater and they would consider it full if you had 20 people.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, it was kind of convenient. Although when I went to the theater in the city one time, my son and I. By the way, happy birthday, Ian. 27 years old tomorrow. we wanted to see Citizen Kane in the city, and I had to actually show my vaccine card. I feel like a douche thinking about it now. Like I could have shown anything. Like, how hard would it be just to find some kind of thing?
Can you show me
like
that
the guy
thing?
at the theater was like, okay, hold on. I don't know if this is authentic.
Well, even then they got to the point where it's like you could just show a screenshot. You could show a screenshot.
You
of
could
anybody.
take a picture of it on your
Right.
phone.
Yeah.
Can you show me that thing
Yeah.
that proves that you took the thing that doesn't work?
All right. We got to get to RFK here because we just opened up free audio. So what I liked was I didn't see much of this, but I liked the fact that he brought up how much money all the senators who were grilling or hammering him, depending on your source, were taking from the pharmaceutical companies.
Many of whom are taking huge amounts of money from the pharmaceutical industry, millions of dollars for many of these senators. And none of that, this is not making our country healthier. It's making us sicker. We need to get rid of these conflicts. We need good science and we need good leadership that is able to stand up to these big industries and not bend over for them.
Now, I'm not saying RFK Jr. isn't, not every screw is screwed in completely, but every once in a while he's right. On that one, he's right. He is right. Do you have the back and forth between him and Bernie Sanders?
Sure
I
do.
love this. Because Bernie Sanders, if you remember, when he first went national with his first campaign, he did talk about the pharmaceutical companies a lot.
Yep.
And he doesn't really do that much anymore. So I love this exchange. And Bernie, by the way, is he's parsing. He's not telling the truth, but he's not completely lying. He's diverting and answering for a different pot of money. But go ahead.
Almost all the members of this panel are accepting, including yourself, are accepting millions of dollars from the pharmaceutical industry.
Oh, no,
and protecting their interests.
Oh, I thought that would come. No.
No.
I thought you'd.
I thought that would come. No.
No. I thought. No.
See if we do it again.
No.
No.
So he tried to say to them, he was saying that it was all because he had all these small contributions. And so what he was doing, Kennedy was talking about his Senate money. And in the answers, Bernie was talking about the 2016 presidential campaign money.
In 2020, you were the single largest
Because I had
receiver of pharmaceutical money.
contributions from workers all over this country.
He's talking about his presidential
Workers,
campaign in 2020.
Not a nickel from corporate
Bernie,
tax.
you were the single largest acceptor of pharmaceutical dollars.
No, from workers in the industry.
1.5 million.
Yeah, out of 200 million. All right.
That's not
but-
true. That's not all right, but that's not true. It's not out of the 200 million. He's diverting to a different pot of money.
No.
No. Do you know how much money politicians should take from pharmaceutical companies? Zero. None. Zero. You know how much money they should take from companies that make military weaponry? Zero. There should be no lobbying when it comes to that sort of stuff. We should have exactly the amount of military weaponry that we need to protect the country given whatever time period that we're in and what we're thinking is coming up on the horizon. And the voices who should never be heard are lobbyists from the companies who are going to make money off of it. It's so obvious. Now, I don't know if RFK Jr. can do this if he gets this job, because this is Health and Human Services, right? I don't know. I get confused. The DIA, there's so many different health things.
Who's HHS?
HHS. And I don't know if he'd have to be over at the FDA to have more effect on this, but what we really need to happen is to first educate the people, Jared's age and even younger, to let them know that through most of the time, there were no pharmaceutical ads. They weren't allowed to advertise on television for a particular drug or this or that. That changed in 82 or 83. So that's what we had a lot of years as a country, and even after the pharmaceutical companies ramped up, a lot of years where we had media and big pharmaceutical companies and they were not allowed to advertise. They shouldn't be advertising to you. They should advertise to a doctor. So if you walk in and you show certain symptoms, the doctor can know, you know what, there is this thing that's available. They shouldn't be advertising to you so you notice that your thumb does kind of hurt on Thursdays, and so that you make an appointment to go into the doctor and say, hey, I heard about this drug. Is there any chance it'll apply to me?
No.
Yeah. So right now there's two countries that do this, pharmaceutical advertising. The one we live in, United States of America, and New Zealand. That's it.
Which they just announced at a mountain as a person.
We're the oddballs, right? Like, most people don't do this. And 50% of all the advertising for television news comes from pharmaceutical companies. Ask yourself this. When's the last time you saw a story on TV about a drug that wasn't good for, or any sort of whiff of scandal? It turns out it's not connected that 50% of news television advertising comes from pharmaceuticals. It's not connected to the fact that it just turns out that it's just the cleanest industry in the world. No scandals, no whiffs of scandals. All the drugs are wonderful. Hallelujah to them. They're not connected. The fact that they're basically the fuel of the television news. They fund television news. And believe me, it's not connected that you can't remember the last time you heard a bad negative story about a pharmaceutical company. Alex Williams has oh, by the way, the second thing is, then we ban it again. Alex Williams has a double red alert downtown.
It is a mess downtown for sure, Eric, and we have all lanes completely shut down still in both directions. 75, 85, both north and southbound shut down between North Avenue and Freedom Parkway. Heavy police and fire department activity there. That's got 85 southbound jammed in from 400, 75 from north side Howell Mill. Northbound delays on 75, 85 start at University Avenue. Best way to avoid this, you can use North Side Drive, Peachtree Street, Moreland Avenue, or even I-285 to give it a wide berth to avoid this shutdown. Andrew Seco, Cool Day Carrier Traffic Center.
New travel advisory rolling into Doraville. Several right lanes knocked out. We got a crash 285 east, the inner loop, but Peachtree Boulevard exit 31. You may want to use 400 south up to 85 north as a quick fast track here. And 75 south leaving Marietta has you slow from the south loop, exit 263, all the way down towards Smyrna Vinings, passing by the ballpark. This is sponsored by Georgia Aquarium. Georgia Aquarium's brand new Aqua Pass unlocks a year free visit. Just pay for a single day, then come back as many times as you want to see everything you want. Get your Aqua Pass at georgiaquarium.org. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Jewelry Gram, it's your friends at Shane Company here to remind you that Valentine's Day is Friday, February 14th. It's the most romantic day of the year to give and get fine jewelry. We have expertly crafted gifts for every type of sweetheart. For the one, we'll help you propose with the dream engagement ring. Come see our wide selection of hand-picked natural and lab-grown diamonds in all shapes and sizes. In stock and ready to compare side by side right here in our store. Or maybe you'll fall in love with a natural, colorful gemstone. At Shane Company, we're known for our sapphires in every color of the rainbow. We have options for every style and budget. Get creative and design a custom necklace with meaningful charms, including 14-karat gold letters, engravable hearts, and birthstones. Our mother-of-pearl heart-shaped collection makes a perfect gift that's ready to give. At Shane Company, love is always in the air with our unmatched free lifetime warranty, everyday competitive prices, and no-pressure shopping experience. Come see us in-store and at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
At Cigna Healthcare, we're designing better weight management treatment options. Making sure that those who need GLP-1s have access to them is the first step.
1 mile complete.
And we help them take the right steps after that, giving them the personalized support they need to keep going.
1 more mile complete.
When it comes to healthcare, a better experience means better outcomes for everyone. That's better by design. Learn more at Cigna.com/better.
Hi, this is Drew Jones, one of your advisors at the Lloyd Advisory Group. It's that time of year where we make New Year's resolutions. And my number one New Year's resolution is being more intentional with my time. Now, as a soon-to-be retiree or retiree, that might ring true to you because you want to spend your time more intentionally and you don't want to have the burden of having to deal with a financial plan, a retirement plan, investments, taxes, all of those sorts of things that fall under the umbrella of the Lloyd Advisory Group. So if one of your resolutions is to put together a holistic retirement plan tailored to your specific needs, call us at 770-766-5611 for your complimentary financial review. That's 770-766-5611.
Advisory services offered through Lloyd Advisory Services, LLC. The Lloyd Group Incorporated is an independent licensed insurance agency, and you may be provided with information regarding the purchase of insurance and other financial products.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Now's a great time to save on fresh Purdue boneless chicken breasts. They're just $3.49 a pound in the family pack with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
So you may ask, who are these people? These hundreds of thousands of people who've decided to do something different with how they pay for health care, and they join MediShare. It's a good question. MediShare members are people who realize they have a choice. They're not stuck with a status quo that they don't like. And we know this from research of MediShare members. They tend to have certain values in common, like their faith. They love that they're actually sharing with one another. They don't have to be part of a system that forces them to pay for things they don't support. They also value joining with other people who prioritize healthier lifestyles and encourage each other. They value customer service that's for them and their families, and they find that refreshing. And they're entrepreneurs, people who work in the gig economy, pastors, school teachers, business people who do clearly value saving money. That's a big part of this, up to $500 a month with MediShare. You too can do something different. You can start saving now. Here's the number. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Hey, there's hope for you, Jared. I just saw a commercial, a pill that helps you drink less.
I don't have an issue of that.
Yet. Not yet. Wow, please. Just because you're a functional alcoholic doesn't mean you're not still an alcoholic.
Listen, I drink socially. I prefer that terminology.
When's the last time 7 days went by, no drink?
Well, I've been social.
When's the last time? Answer the question. I'm thinking of running for Senate. So
No, come on now. I drank during the campaign.
You drank.
No.
When is the last time, can you remember, and it can't be some millennial, we're not going to drink for a week. Just normal, just no big deal, not something that was set up, not a dry January, nothing. Just didn't drink for 7 days.
Probably from December 14th to like December 21st or something.
Were you in the hospital?
No, I went in the hospital. I would say just because that time of the year, you're right outside of the...
Not buying it.
Well,
I'm not buying that you did not have one alcoholic beverage in that period of time.
So just full disclosure. I don't drink by myself.
You accept money from the pharmaceutical companies.
I do accept money. I do accept money from the pharmaceutical companies. During that time of the year, you're out of the Christmas party or holiday party phase.
Yeah.
And we're getting ready for the Christmas show. So I think that's usually a time where I'm like, there's a lot of stuff going on.
You're not remembering this. You're just You're just saying, well, theoretically,
well, you asked,
theoretically, I possibly maybe could have that week.
For the past couple of weekends. I mean, we haven't had a free weekend to start off 2025. And
tomorrow, you don't have to drink. You don't have to drink.
And tomorrow is
you don't have to drink.
Tomorrow is my
try the ganja, man. You just don't drink.
Well, there's been some of that too.
That's less social.
We're going to be celebrating my wife's birthday tomorrow too.
Oh,
so
yeah,
you
can't
can't
I'm not saying. Well, I'm just okay. Fine.
Yeah, fine.
But nobody that is listening to this show believes that you didn't have an alcoholic beverage between December 14th and December whatever.
Yeah, I got you a bottle of bourbon.
Didn't mean I drank it, though.
Nah, he's got you there.
Have you drank it yet?
I have had a couple sips.
Nice.
What I'm saying is, years from now, when you've lost everything, don't come crying to me.
This is all because I had a Klondike bar in here. This is what
I know.
It is.
You're falling to pieces. Thank goodness it's the end of the week. That music's telling us two things. Shut the hell up, get the hell out. You know us. We do what we're told. We're good patriots. You know what that means. Good patriots never question anything, especially authority. We do what we're told. Shelley Winter is up next with a great radio show for you. We're going to take the weekend off. Be back Monday, 3 p.m. You're all invited to join us. But until then, continue on the journey. Do not piss off the genie.
No.
6:56, red alert continues downtown. 75, 85, both north and southbound, completely shut down. Southbound shut down just below North Avenue. Northbound lanes are closed at Peachtree Pine Street for this heavy police fire department activity. Been ongoing for about a half hour now. Southbound slows at the 85-400 merge. Northbound, you're jammed in from University Avenue. Think about using Northside Drive, Peachtree Street, or even I-285 as alternate. Speaking of 285, crash in a couple of right lanes. 285 eastbound, the inner loop into DeKalb County at Peachtree Boulevard, exit 31. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
Money Update. From WSB consumer expert Clark Howard. Sponsored by Reliable Heating and Air.
Really cheap flights are going to airports you would never think of. New Haven, Connecticut, Sonoma Airport in Northern California, and all around the country. So when you're looking to fly somewhere, check what's available nearby where you're intending to go, because it could cut the cost by as much as 75%. Just shopping where you land, not just the airlines that fly where you were thinking of going.